What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Project Manga Podcast, where we cover One Piece, My Hero, Black Clover, Mashle, Dr. Stone, and Jujutsu Kaisen week to week. Back this week covering Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 28. I'm your host, Eagle.
I'm Knox.
And I'm Nickums.
And we're back with Mello. What up, man? It's good to have you.
Oh, just hot Gojo summer.
Gojo summer.
For real,
Hell yeah.
though.
And as always, before we get started with the conversation, we would just like to say go ahead and take a look in that description box down below where you can find links to all of our individual social media accounts, such as Twitter, links to our online communities like Discord, places where you can listen to the podcast wherever you'd like to, and also ways to support the show through looking at our online shop or our Patreon. And with all that said, how you boys doing? It's a fantastic weekend jump.
Yes.
It is super short
Jujutsu Kaisen chapter, unfortunately.
And no Black Clover, but we gonna get it. We gonna have a nice combo regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, with that said, we might as well just go ahead and get right into it. Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 152, Perfect Preparation, Epilogue.
Mm-hmm.
And
Should we talk about the hiatus first? I mean, like, that's just going on
I
hiatus.
feel like
Yeah.
we should touch on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure people know about it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's in the chapter.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so Gege, this chapter is 9 pages. Gege said that they'll be out for like a month or so.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they feel fine physically and mentally.
Right.
That they're just doing a surgery. Had they had some surgery or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, get well soon.
Yes.
Rest long. And take as much time as you need, Akutami Gege.
Everyone deserves a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Especially
other
for like
than
a surgery or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
it's just like, drawing is actually a lot more intensive than a lot of people think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you're just working one specific part of your body
Yeah.
all day.
While
Right,
sitting,
right.
sitting up, and as comfortable of a chair as you can probably imagine that they'd have. You know what I mean? Like it can't cover all the bases, especially not like long-term, multi-decade posture issues.
Right.
That artists, usually
No one
run
can
into.
live in a
Yeah.
chair.
right,
Yeah, no one can live in a chair for like their whole life.
punching over
exactly.
for real, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm. But other than that,
Oh, yeah.
I think for 9 chapters, I think it does a good job to
For 9 pages, yeah.
or for 9 pages rather. I think
9 chapters.
I keep saying chapters when I'm talking about that.
It's
But yeah,
effective. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
less is more storytelling. Like
Mhm.
a lot of it is kind of like implied off-screen action, and I think he's taking into account like the page limitations to kind of choose that style of presentation.
Sure.
Yeah,
this
because I was
chapter.
wondering, you know what I mean? Like, what would this chapter have looked like if it was a full 18 to 20 pages? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's
I
like,
was
what-
thinking
yeah,
what I speculated at the end of my, reaction to it was like maybe we would have just seen her Maki taking out these other people that weren't present during the whole, Zenin
Oh, sure.
massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because at the end of it, we just get the exposition that those from the Zenin clan that were absent during this were, hunted down and killed, and they
Right.
died violent deaths within, in the next however long.
yeah.
Mhm.
I was
And,
thinking maybe that they would have tried to flesh out the mom and now
Yep.
the situation a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
more. if we
like
had
I
full,
feel like it would
18
have
pages.
been
Yeah.
Yeah.
like just think about like that moment that they have off screen where whatever Mai says to her mom hurts her, but also like pushes her to the extreme that she felt like. But I think that like what pushed her is from different sources, like
Sure.
what can move that person who has been like historically that stoic and been like, this is our lives, we are going to accept it
Mhm.
regardless of whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
And like they're like that person is like the rock at the bottom of the river. Like, what do you say to someone to get them to be free to act out like that?
Yeah.
Especially in that kind of scenario. It's just like that family was not good to any of the women there.
Right.
Right,
And it's
right.
the complacency that just comes from that like male dominating kind of like patriarchy, I think is
Yeah, it's a harshly patriarchal clan.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? So when you have all of these dominant, male fighters that, basically take what we can consider or assume to be like similar to like Spartan kind of upbringings for like the males of the family, you know what I mean? Like from birth, you are probably trained to fight and you are really trying to be hyped up because you could be a potential clan head if you get the right technique and whatnot. So they want to make sure you can assume a lot about how it goes down in like the Zenin clan. So when you have the heads of that patriarchy so dominant in that misogynistic atmosphere, then complacency is to be expected from the women that are already kind of like treated as second class even inside of their own family. So
and like you see that with like when Maki's going in the tunnel right to the warehouse, and the mom is like turn back or whatever, and as she's saying turn back or whatever or go home or whatever, right, like she seems so mad, right, and so kind of brainwashed into like what you're doing against the Zenin clan is wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So against what Maki's doing, and even when Maki succeeds, has wiped everyone out. You know what I mean? She still is like, why are you doing this?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's not until she herself is about to die and stabs Naoya that she can finally like let go of all this baggage. You know what I mean? And be like, ooh, actually, you know what? Thank you.
Yeah,
like
I'm free. It's very liberating. You know what I mean? And I know that the page count is low and everything kind of like moves really fast from scene to scene, but you could totally feel, at least I could, and it seems like we're all on a similar page here, that yes, the mom sucked, but it's because she was so complacent in the ways of the clan, and now she feels like released from that through death and can go, you want to know what? I love Maki. I loved Mai. Like, fuck Naoya. You know what I mean? Like before I die, I'm gonna kill this dude. You know what I mean? For my daughters.
I don't know if it's complacency is the right word.
Yeah, it might not be. Might not be.
I feel like
it's like being brainwashed.
She was like Maya, where she was like, I'm going to obey.
Yeah.
So that the people, because like I feel like if they would just punish them and they're like, I don't want to be hurt, I don't want to be replaced, and if I lose my station within the family, what does that mean for my daughters? And I feel like she's like lived in fear either for herself or for her children, and that she stayed there for that reason. And then once the source of all reprisals was gone, I think that she still felt guilty for carrying out the things that she didn't agree with.
Oh, sure.
For safety, right? Like when she was powerless, she still felt guilty and hated the things that she had to do and say and like live. And I think that's why, because I don't think Maki slices her throat.
Oh,
I think I think that
you think she slit her own throat?
I think she did.
Oh damn! I didn't even think about that at all.
Because she stabs Naoya.
Yeah.
Who was known to be a horrible fiance, regardless, to either of the girls. And unlike the dad, she's like, I'm so glad I gave birth to you. Those are her final thoughts. She's so thankful for her kids. She treasures them. So I feel like she definitely suffered for them.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, because I don't think, because like Maki this is the first Zenin that Maki isn't just like instant lightning killing.
Right.
It's like, because she, like the mom's like reacting and the mom's just like, and Maki's just like, hear me out.
Yeah.
Listen. Hey, chill. Let's
talk about this.
Let's discuss.
Yeah.
And I think that
let's discuss.
The mother, let's air this out. And once she knew what the situation was, I just that's the thing. There's so much off screen that it's open to interpretation, but that's what I get from it.
Definitely.
And that is just so impactful because, like,
that's crazy.
The dad hated his kids. He resented his children for being female. Not even that they lack talent. Like, he wanted male heirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his wife was just like, no, like, I don't hate you because you're like me. You're my kids.
And now she sees that Maki just completely tore down like the entire situation, so she's got to be like super gassed up for Maki right now in her final moments too. Like so happy that she doesn't have to worry about Maki at least. You know what I mean?
She's like, my kids are free.
Yeah.
I don't think she knows about my situation. Maybe she does, or that might just be another layer to her guilt.
Yeah.
Just very impactful emotionally. I really like this arc.
Oh yeah.
I was a little worried that like Maki's curse, like Mai's curse onto Maki would cause her to be, because she said like the promise was destroy everything, and I was like, how far is everything? I worried that she was gonna be like a true berserker, not on the same level as like the death doll of Toji, but like still dangerous to be around and like aware of it, which would be so
brutal,
conflicting.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm glad that she has like, wherewithal. This is a relief.
Oh yeah, dude.
At the same time, like, and I love that theory, but like the whole pages 2 and 3 of this chapter, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's hard to go from this and assume she killed herself, you know what I mean? Or she slit her own throat, because it's like what are you doing? She's backing away, like, no, don't stop,
true.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like no, and immediately after the no with a hard stop, like blood splat. And like, and who's saying no? And of course she could be saying no and slitting her own throat, and that's how it stopped. But like it's just like, but at the same time, like Maki is fucking, Toji power level, you know what I mean? Like
she's Terminator walking to her mom, yeah.
Yeah, like but like if Maki wanted to kill her mom, would she really like slit her throat all intense like that, you know what I mean? And just leave her to die or whatever? Like would she just like cut her head off? You know what I mean?
Probably.
Like how did her mom survive if Maki is so powerful in a way, right? Like I totally agree, it's up to interpretation, because it's obviously a lot of these scenes are off screen.
Yeah,
like
I'm trying to look at panel 2 to see at the top of panel 2 to see if there's like a knife that she's like scrambling for in the moment, you know what I mean? But there's like,
and I mean, I looked at the knife on page 5 and I was like, is the knife on page 5 bloody?
It's not bloody
and
at
it's
all.
not
even bloody, yeah.
But I mean, like, this is,
it doesn't even have to be bloody.
It doesn't
slice the throat.
It could be a different. It could be a different knife.
I mean,
it could be
just hand chop.
Yeah.
She might be able to just fucking hand chop, just like.
Yeah.
Oh,
single hand,
I mean,
like no weapon.
Yeah. So I'm just arguing that, like,
I mean, we've already seen her like rip people's throats out, like the two people in the, a couple chapters ago.
Right.
It out.
But like the mom, if the mom like had slit her own throat, maybe you'd expect the knife to be bloody. But it could be a different knife, or maybe, I don't know, maybe just don't draw it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, she was carrying that curse tool, so probably just slit her throat with the curse tool.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Yeah.
Maybe told her mom, like, make the best of your last moments.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because like, I mean, like, it's like I want that, because like the end thing where she's like, I'm thankful for my kids, but then also the contrasting the note, it definitely seems like Maki did this to her, and it's so weird because like
it's a cool thought, dude, for sure.
Both could happen.
Right. Or the other thing I was thinking is, like, on page 3, say, right, in the bottom left panel, you see this like trail of blood and this audible like like someone's like heavily breathing, right?
Yeah.
Is that the mom or is that Naoya?
I think it's Naoya, because he's bleeding from the mouth too.
Sure.
I was thinking that it could be the mom, because it's just blood and huffing. It could literally be either of them. But Naoya specifically, like coughing blood and leaving blood everywhere that we see him, kind of like makes me think that it's him, since he's out of breath anyway from just fighting Maki. So. And
I mostly agree. I'm just saying that, like, it's interesting how much is off panel.
Yeah, for sure.
In this chapter, we just get like one panel of like heavy breathing and blood. And it's like, okay, well, it could be anyone. I don't know. Like, it's probably Naoya. You know.
It reminds me of like a Kurosawa film where it's just like there's very little dialogue. There's mostly action and like just intimate reaction, and then gore. Like Naoya's face is all messed up.
Yeah, dude, he got his shit dented last chapter.
He looks like Harvey Dent, dude.
Yeah, he does look like fucking Two-Face right now.
Right.
What do you guys think the chances of I saw an idea that Naoya comes back as a vengeful spirit just because of the circumstances of his death? Right, because he's like clearly cursing things right now, like internally, like fuck everything, where's my cursed energy, like I'm
Oh.
angry, and then the mom like kills him. You know what I mean? With
Mhm.
so much emotion behind it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Like,
I like
think
that theory. I like that idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
because a lot of
Yeah, I
people
do
just
too.
don't want Naoya to just be done being a character. A lot of people are mad that his character has
People
been
like
killed.
Naoya.
Yeah, people.
That
people
would
fuck
be
with
interesting
Naoya.
to have like a curse that has like a warped version of his projection ability. Like, what would a curse that could like project itself even do?
Yeah.
See, I feel like if it was gonna be a curse, it would be a curse that made you not be able to use your cursed energy, right? Because he's like, fuck,
Oh.
I can't use my cursed energy, god damn it, you know,
Yeah.
and that emotion, that huge emotion of like, how could I be so incapacitated by such a weakling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like flip that around into like that kind of ability, you know what I mean?
That would be pretty crazy if it manifested like that, just like not even related to Naoya's like original power set at all, but like just
Right.
Oh yeah.
the idea of the jealousy that he's probably feeling for like
Yeah.
Maki, someone without cursed energy, to
Right.
kill someone who has such a highly valued curse technique. You know what I mean? And especially inside of a clan that values curse energy over everything. You know what I mean? I could totally see that. That'd be crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be tight.
It would be really interesting if it could keep up like a level of speed where it strobes quickly and like shutter step can like change on a dime.
Oh, sure.
Like change direction, like short bursts of movement, right?
Sure.
Like very short bursts of movement, but like really rapid.
Still fast, still speedy.
Still fast, still speedy, but like have we had curses come from like multiple people dying at once? Because like places of battlefields will produce one curse. So what if the slain Zenin, their collective grudge, kind of fuses together, and like
Into a
it's like a
very powerful one.
multi-faced thing,
Yo.
and like maybe even the mom is part of it. Like she's
All
just
the
hanging out
Zenin
like
clan
an
techniques or
anglerfish
some shit.
like bubble, but like and holding a knife. I don't know, like something
The
grotesque.
Zenin clan, vengeful spirit, ghost,
Yeah.
Italian.
Oh,
Yeah,
That would be wild.
like
that would be wild.
That'd be some other shit. If they brought it back around like that, that'd be wild as fuck.
and
So
then
what-
like
I was saying,
maybe-
yeah, go for it.
yeah, I like the aura idea where it's like an aura of nullified curse energy.
Yeah, that's tight. That'd be
Sure,
tight.
sure.
No, that's a really cool idea, Nick.
One of the things we were talking about earlier, in terms of like Maki's grudge, right? Like, is she some sort of berserker going after literally every single Zenin clan member? What I thought at the end of this chapter was like, because last chapter, it's okay, she killed everyone at the Zenin clan base, whatever. Okay, cool. Is she going to kill literally all the Zenin clan? Okay, obviously she does, right? Based on the epilogue at the very end of the chapter.
Yeah.
What about Megumi? You know what I mean? Like, I guess he's on the team. You know what I mean? He's on the team.
He's not. She's not killing me.
But he's the head of the Zenin clan.
Right,
And-
and she doesn't
That's
want to
right,
kill.
everything. I don't know,
We're not
man.
He
saying
knows
she.
he's trying to take it in a different direction. I guess. I don't
Well,
know.
no. What Nick is saying is that like we know that the Maki that we know would never want to kill Megumi, but we're
Right.
like linking it back to the conversation earlier in the review about when Mello brought up like how far does this promise to destroy everything have to go, and
Right.
could it extend to Megumi inside of whatever hypothetical contract that we're kind of talking
Right,
about right now,
right.
inside of the conditions.
Right.
Of
Would
the-
he be
the-
a target of the curse by virtue of being the current Zenin clan head?
Right.
Right. I totally agree that Maki we know would never fight Megumi. Like, why? Like, they're on the same
Never.
team. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but if he wanted to be the head of the clan, you know what I mean, and he was the head of the clan when
She
she's
pushed him
I'm
to
gonna
be
destroy
the head of the
everything. You know what I
clan.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not too far removed to maybe have him be a target,
Yeah.
which would be
Yeah.
wild. You know what I mean?
That
She
would be
totally
super.
unexpected.
Pushed him to be the clan head, so she does acknowledge him as the clan head.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
So if that
I
was
wonder-
a thing, if that was a condition, then that would be really scary.
But
for
we
Megumi.
haven't had them run into each other
Yeah,
yet.
not since.
So
yeah.
I'm waiting
Right.
because part of me wonders if that would be, because I kind of want that to be the case because of it would remove her from the board, right? Like she would distance herself to preserve Megumi, and that might be the way she does stuff off screen or by her, or like more solo missions, because then the gang can't rely on her like overwhelmingly superhuman physique to like get through the culling games.
Oh, sure,
Or-
sure.
They're like, we need Megumi to do this. We need Ariel, but then we can't rely on Maki to do it with us because we can't risk the curse targeting Megumi.
Right.
Dude, that would be some wild shit, bro. I'm like thinking about like the story
Because
if that was the case, and that's just
why did
so
Maki want to
wild.
talk to her mom? Like, it's just like, hey, I can't help, but I'm going to kill you. Like, I don't want to.
Oh shit.
But I have to. I made a promise to Mai.
Oh shit.
No hard feelings. Because, like, why didn't she just outright kill her?
Yeah. Unless she did.
What was exchanged? I need to know.
Like.
It's gonna come back in like later chapters, and I'm just gonna like mentally implode. But it's a couple chapters away from now.
Yeah, and we got a whole like month to at least to kind of like sit on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Think about it, which is pretty wild. But
yeah.
Rest easy.
One more thing about the chapter.
Yeah.
This last dialogue box at the end of the chapter, right?
Oh,
where
sure.
like the Gojo clan and the Kamo clan propose removing the Zenin clan from the big three families.
Yeah.
But the Jujutsu headquarters is keeping the verdict on hold. And I'm thinking like, what do you mean? Like, I thought they were just the top three because they were the top three. You know what I mean? Like, by virtue of just their power. Obviously, the Zenin clan is not the top three anymore, right? So it almost seems like it's an official position.
Yeah.
The Jujutsu headquarters?
Yeah.
No. Obviously, Jujutsu headquarters is an official thing, but like, it's like, why is the top three families this like official thing or whatever, right?
Yeah,
and who,
I don't remember.
And who would be who's number 4?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember.
And will there be a replacement? That's a good thought. Like,
right. Well, it's on hold for now, but yeah.
I think that because it comes with 3 clans, like it's called the 3 big clans, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
just double checking.
Yeah, I don't think I
three.
remember a time in the series where it was established as like a legitimate position. Like Nick was saying, this was just like the 3 strongest clans, and everyone knew that, so no one tried to check them on it because it was apparent. But this is like an actual, given
part
title.
of the government.
Yeah, part of the whatever government it is. Yeah,
like a House of Lords, right? Like there's like the judicial system, like they're part of, like their board is. Like there's 3 of them. There's a tiebreaker. So like they don't. Maybe they like the Jujutsu headquarters doesn't want them to have too much deciding power,
like checks
between
and
the
balances,
2 of them,
like legislative, judicial, and executive. Yeah,
because once it like devolves into like just 2 groups that are arguing about whatever side, there's no workaround. They needed a third party to kind of like temper whatever decisions they made for the betterment of Jujutsu Society.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's a power move, and like the headquarters is like, let's not be too hasty. Let's see where it goes. Maybe we'll have a 4th family step in, or the Zenin clan might survive with extremely limited numbers.
Inumaki clan's time to stand up. Come on, man.
Let's get it.
Come on, we got Toge chilling here.
Has risen.
Yeah, we got Toge chilling here with 1 arm. They got to be mad about that.
Honestly, that could be interesting.
Inumaki stuff, yeah.
Because then Inumaki would be the face of a small group, and then would he adopt kind of like the philosophical disciples of Gojo under his new group, or maybe they just follow under this shadow of Megumi, right? Because the clan's numbers have dwindled, he gets to recruit to what he considers the Zenin clan.
Yeah. I'm excited to see like a clan meeting, like in general, with just everyone else on the table, and literally just like put that information on the board. I knew Gojo clan had to be more than just Gojo. You know what I mean? They said like there was a dialogue bubble there that said the Gojo clan is a 1-man army that consists of just Satoru Gojo or some shit in a panel one time. And I was like, no, that's cap. I was like, there's definitely more like Gojo people. And I remember talking about like, I remember talking about like, I want like, like maybe like a female Gojo to pull up, like a sexy aunt or something like that. Just give me something. Give me something with blue eyes, bro. I'm missing Gojo so much. If you can't tell, like I need something. You know what I mean? Aunt. Sexy Aunt Gojo would be everything right now.
Sexy Aunt Gojo.
Turbo Granny with soulful eyes.
Hey man, you can tell him I'm thinking about Don right now.
I can't wait for that clan meeting.
Yeah, I want to see them work through a docket. I want them to filibuster. It sounds super boring, but I want them to argue about like what is the future, what is the stakes.
I just want men in suits. I want people in suits.
All right,
I know, channeling my inner Kiko right now. I'm trying to see them government, conversations.
I want to see some broken teacups just in their grips.
Yeah,
just like unacceptable.
Yeah.
I think that's about. Anybody else got anything for Jujutsu Kaisen this week?
I think
I'm good.
I think that's about it. Well, with that, we can move into chapter 200 of Dr. Stone. What is it? Future Engine. Sorry.
Future Engine, yep. It was on the second page. They were the third page this time. Yeah.
Yes.
Good
chapter. Good, nice setup chapter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Great montage.
Always some, as always, some good comedy moments.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Good montages, and actually an interesting fact in how they make those round tanks to store.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, bro, you're blowing it up. I was like, what are you? I thought it was gonna be like a failure, like trial and like error kind of like thing.
Oh,
but like, no, first try, pow. This is how they're made, and I was like, whoa.
Knox is very good at hiding the bottom of the page from his eyes when he's reading the page. Because same page, it's like
no, because he put he was like, we just got to blow it up, cause a little explosion inside, and I was like, holy fuck, don't do that, bro. But I have to, because it's like when I'm like reading like live online. I'm like,
sure.
I gotta make sure that I don't see the next thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, panel by panel, can't get distracted.
Yeah, for sure.
There was a ton of science in this chapter, you know what I mean, like biofuels, this sphere thing or whatever. Like I love that sphere, how they made those spheres is tight as hell. Like I never thought of that in my whole life, you know what I mean. This like, okay, we're gonna heat up metal with like electric, induction heater or whatever, with like the tubes of water to like cool it down or whatever. Like all this shit is just so tight.
So sick. Wholesome crew interactions. Everybody, like the ones that geek out about things like Gen are right there again in Chrome, like oh, you know what I mean? And it's just like so
funny on page 5 how Gen goes right back and forth between Zeno and Senku with the same, like,
yeah,
I didn't notice that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love how the crew interactions are always so like wholesome, intimate, educational, and it just like when all of those things are kind of turning at the same time, it really feels like a family, especially because like time and seems to move really fast in Dr. Stone, and the pacing, is kind of quick, in conjunction with it or whatever. So like when you can really feel the development and like the coming together of the team on the page, even though it's like so boom boom from scene to scene, it's really impressive.
Yeah, I like how it just covers a large array of like the montage on like 6 and 7. And I like how it just covers like an array of interactions and tasks and the passage of time, like day and night,
they built
the
another
calendar,
tank.
everything. Like it's just Boichi is like extremely concise in his like art. Even though he does like go for like those like really great vistas, like when they did the Medusa mountain reveal. But it's just like, dang dude, like that's a economy of action right there. Like
Hell yeah.
And we Nox, you mentioned Chrome or whatever, also geeking out over all this stuff, right? And like Chrome's performance in this chapter I just thought was top tier. You know what I mean? Like starting with just like looking at all this metal and being like, wow, that's wild that you can like just make the strongest metal in the world by combining a bunch of other metals. I mean, that is incredibly wild or whatever, right?
And
then like this
out of the ground.
Right. And going to page 17, skipping ahead a little bit, right? Where Chrome is like just thinking about how they're zooming along in this jet fucking boat, and then like and just from rocks in the ground, right? And it's tearing up, and I'm like, I got chills, dude. Like I'm tearing up. Like this is
teared up.
Amazing, you know what I mean? Science, what humans can do.
Yeah, I had chills just turning the page just now to what you were, while you were talking about it, and it's like he's such a good vehicle for like us as the audience, you know what I mean, inside of the world of Dr. Stone, because he was born in the Stone world, but he was always a very curious person, so he has that base level curiosity that like all scientists really need. And then like, us as people, when we were younger, you know what I mean? Like, we're really curious in that way and would go out and collect rocks and grab sticks and fight with them, and do all other kinds of like, really adventurous, like little kid shit. But it's all like rooted in, the wonder of how nature works, you know what I mean? So he had like just enough, base level technical science, like skill or whatever when we met him. And it's just like any of us, you know what I mean? Like we're that kid who collected rocks, you know what I mean? And then now you have like an all-star scientist next to you, And it's like, dude, you have to geek out. That's like the only thing to do there back then. That's like
Mhm.
all the
Yeah.
entertainment basically is like watching boring science, science experiments and methods and shit like that. You know what I mean? He had to be like a kid in the fucking candy store. And you could really see it in his character throughout the series
Yes.
that that's exactly how it is, and it's
Yes.
Yeah.
probably the best character in Dr. Stone at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like once the dust
I
settles,
was-
bro. Yeah.
Top
I
5,
was
easy
also
top 5.
saying that,
Yeah.
He really appreciates all this stuff, and like, I just think about like what they're doing, like with the rocket engine. It's effectively magic, right? Like, there's an anthropology quote. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
Right.
And for him, it's like that. It's like, man, your best dude defense was a bridge and 2 dudes with spears. Like, now you're just like flying across the water. You've dealt with guns, petrification beams that mend wounds, like
Right.
traveling through time one way, but like
It's
still like,
one way.
just like I'm simple, man, and life's pretty wild.
For real.
And like, I don't know, we take a lot of stuff for granted, like Xenobucks, like that drink that they're having, like
Yeah. Starbucks, basically coffee, I
there's kind
guess.
of like
Xenobucks.
yeah, like they're on page like 9. They're doing toast with that stuff, and it's just
Yeah.
like it's like a modern convenience that we would totally take for granted. But like, it's kind of interesting to see that perspective after having a lot of like the really advanced stuff, like heat induction, rocket engines, Xenobucks, and then it's like, okay, cool, we're getting used to like a level of sophistication and stuff ever since Francois, but like
Mhm.
Chrome's just like, man, like none of this would have existed. This is.
For
I
real.
don't know,
It
like-
would have been like not in there, not for hundreds of thousands of years. Like if they would've had to
Lifetimes.
start from zero, like
Yeah.
without
Yep.
Senku and
Yeah.
Zeno.
They would have never seen this coming from the stone world. No.
Right.
Mm. No, like not in his lifetime. Like he's seen so many like life-altering changes that like some like I don't know if my grandparents even know about like electric induction. Like
Yeah.
like what do they take for granted? It makes you think.
Yeah, it does.
Definitely. You're definitely even making me think that like even us getting chills and tearing up from that panel, we
Yeah.
can't even imagine what Chrome is thinking. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not even the same ballpark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Like he
totally
has
right.
no formal education. There's no
real.
background. It's just like this just works.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, that's wild.
They said it would work and it did. My God.
Right,
Well,
right.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, when you
Like-
turn that page and you just see him geeking like that, it's like,
Mhm.
man.
It's hard not to. Like even Gen is like wilding out, and he's just like, "What?" Like Gen is all of us.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
we have the background information to draw upon, but he's just like, "Wait, what? That's what?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about it before, but I guess Gen is more, in that role that I was kind of like talking about earlier as far as like what we would think of, this plot if
Yeah.
we were
Oh,
if we were
sure,
putting
sure.
it. But
He's
like
definitely
Since he's from the modern
since
day
he's
or
from
whatever.
the modern day or whatever, but yeah, I never thought about it like that when it comes to
Chrome
Chrome.
is
That's
definitely,
like wild. I don't know how I never thought of it, but yeah, like of course he's experienced like how he's feeling. We can't resonate with because we have all of this formal education and we have all of like we come from a modern world and he's
Mhm.
literally a caveman. So
But your point about the kids, like as you're a
Yeah.
kid and,
Oh,
and
yeah,
playing with
sure.
sticks and rocks, like I do think we can relate a
Yeah.
little bit,
Yeah,
but just
absolutely.
like
Point of innocence is totally on the point.
yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
Mhm.
So let's talk about these teams. How we're splitting up into 3 teams
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
forward in the story, which I think makes total sense, and I think we saw it coming or whatever.
Mhm.
I didn't think 3.
What's
but-
everybody's favorite team?
I mean, the main team, Team 3. What are you talking about?
Team 3, yeah.
What's your favorite
Man.
team, Eagle?
I don't know, man. I like Zeno. I like
I
Team
like Zeno's. I
man.
like Team Zeno
They
too,
got,
dude.
they got
Team what?
Tsukasa, they got
I
Samurai
mean,
Buddy, and they got Zeno.
I kind of want to see what happens in
Hero.
Corn City.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
talk about
mean,
Corn
we'll
City.
see it.
Let's
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about because I feel like first off, who's navigating, right? So you can assume Ukyo because he's like
Ukyo,
the
yeah.
radio guy, but like
Yeah,
I don't remember what the 2 on the left, right?
They're just fans of
they're engineers.
but they're engineers, but like they might be able to drive a boat. I don't know
Yeah.
remember their jobs though.
Oh,
I
I didn't know
think
they
were,
had
like,
jobs. I thought they were just
mechanical
fanboys
engineers.
for that one girl.
I mean, they kind of were, but they did have jobs within
Yeah.
the kingdom. I think they were like repair guys or engineers or something like that.
Sure.
Okay.
Like military engineers, possibly.
Right.
Ukyo definitely. I think he had military training, but
So wait, which
He-
team
yeah.
is Ginro on?
Team 1.
Team 1. Then
He's gonna be with
Oh,
Matsukaze.
yeah, but isn't that him?
Matsukaze,
Isn't that
yeah.
him again in the panel for the second team?
No, it's Luna.
No, that's
Luna.
Luna.
Dumb, very dumb. Sorry. Don't mind me.
I mean, it's funny that you say that because they're in the exact same spot on the panel and they have the exact same hair and
Yeah.
a very similar reaction. And it's like, okay, I do see where you got that from. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like Gen, Ginro, Luna, they're all just like various stages of disappointment. One's just lashing out, the other one's just like horrified, and the other one's just like, I'm gonna be sick.
Right,
Like,
right.
yo, I gotta stay here. Genro's like, I gotta stay here with Gen. Or not Gen, but motherfucking Zeno.
Yeah.
And Luna's like, fuck, you're taking me away from Senku.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
Gen
yeah,
was,
How do
Gen
we
was
actually
smooth as
think
fuck,
it's-
though.
I think he's leery about hanging out with oh god, that lady, Big Barda, whatever her name is.
Oh yeah.
Because if you look at page 7,
Yep.
mid montage, he looks like he's trying to get away and failing.
Because he was like assigned to like it seems like he was assigned to like rock cracking duty or mining duty or whatever, and he's like trying to escape because he's got the axe pick on or the pickaxe on the bottom of the panel, and she's like, no, come back and work.
Like, you don't have my stamina or strength, but you're gonna
I'm
keep
here
up
to
with
keep
me.
you honest. Let's
Right.
go back to work, bud.
You see Tsukasa and Hyoga in the back of that same panel, just like spinning around in circles, mining
Now-
like shit.
Now, speaking of those two, right? Going
Yeah.
back to the teams, right?
Yeah.
So Tsukasa is hanging back with Zeno.
Yeah.
Probably, you could imagine, to keep him in line, right? Like
Yeah.
he's our
Mhm.
most powerful warrior, and therefore, like keep him as like the if Stanley actually were revived, like have someone to fight against Stanley.
Yeah.
On the flip side, Hyoga going with Team 2 alone to Corn City. I wonder if that's going to be a plot point because he, I think, is the main antagonist going back, you know, because he's always been that kind of like half antagonist, right?
Yeah.
So what if he like does decide to like, you know, double cross, you know, after all
Yeah.
this time? Who knows if he will, especially because they literally brought him back from the fucking dead.
Yeah, but
right?
I could see
Yeah.
Riichiro kind of leaning into that for conflict in their stretch of storytelling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that potential, not like actually like doing it, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
just like creating that ominous feeling
It's
during
always
their
it's always
chapters.
yeah, it's always a
Yeah.
source of like tension and ominous feeling, and it's
Right.
been in the
Mhm.
past where they're like, oh shit, can we really trust Hyoga?
Yeah.
Right.
But I also
bet-
do recall like a pretty recent like solidifying moment where like he was singing with him or some shit.
Yeah. Mhm.
But
to where we
yeah,
can go, like
he could still be a sketchy bastard.
Yeah,
Right.
you never
He's
know.
definitely bonded. Like
Yeah.
he and Tsukasa like even bonded a bit prior to being petrified.
hmm
I think that it's just gonna be like Hyoga is a cynic, and so like the kind of like cruel fallacies of the old way of life
Mhm.
from the people of Corn City might tempt him, and then Taiju might like remind him of like staying true to like the philosophy of the mission.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
And I feel like it's that. I don't think he's gonna be like. He might like negotiate very hostilely. I don't know, but like, I think
Oh,
that he's
yeah,
gonna
there's
be,
always
like,
that.
kept in line a little bit. Like, I think
Sure.
Taiju is there to kind of like morally act as a moral compass a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously Taiju's got to go back to his girl or whatever, Yuzuriha
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
And Ukyo is there to like keep an eye on both of them and like, okay, Hyoga might need Taiju. All right, I'm gonna go get him. Like,
Yeah.
It does seem like Ukyo is like the brains of the operation in Team 2. That's at least my take, right? Because like
He's
Taiju's
definitely in
like straight
charge.
meat,
Yeah.
Hyogo's meat. I mean, Luna's probably smart. I don't really know. We don't know her full capability yet. I don't think.
Yeah.
She is at least has a very high self-esteem and thinks she's very capable.
Yeah.
But Ukyo we know is very capable. So.
Mhm.
oh yeah, hands down, he's running that little dog and pony show.
Mhm.
But yeah, main team is going to be probably like my favorite interactions, just because Ryusui and Senku and Chrome and like
It's all the best characters. It's
Yeah.
all the best
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah,
So much.
it is the main.
Kohaku.
Besides
Also,
Tsukasa, because
Kohaku.
I think
Yeah.
Tsukasa is like top tier character, but
Yeah.
everyone else
I've been liking Luna a lot too lately, and I always love.
she's grown on me. Yeah.
But see,
Yeah.
every team has a character like on it that like Riichiro could focus on to deliver incredible, like Taiju.
Well, there's going to
We
be
have
the big
one-
plot point with Taiju and Yuzuriha.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then Xeno obviously is in Super Alloy City. Anything Xeno related is fucking incredible. You know what I mean?
Like,
So
yeah.
I think that even though, yeah, like the main squad that we're probably going to be focusing on the most is probably the best team, just because it's all the best characters. But I feel like we're going to get really strong storytelling no matter who we focus on, just because all of these, all of these characters have so much potential to give really heart-rending scenes.
I like this paring down of the cast a
Sure.
lot. I like it because I feel like at certain points it's hard to do stories where there's like a certain level of cast bloat.
Oh,
right?
sure.
Like I struggle. I love stuff like Game of Thrones and One Piece. I like it a lot, but like part of me has a hard time getting really into the series because I just can't keep up with all the different characters.
It takes a little
bit.
I
like that they're narrowing focus a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they got their one like, oh, big group montage. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna split up. And I think that's like, I don't know, elegant.
Yeah. Yeah, they know how to, you know, write an ensemble cast that's all on screen, and they know how to, you know, break it into sections and focus. They're such a versatile creative team. But they have such a big cast, but it never feels congested to me, at least. You know what I mean? And then obviously, you know, when it's split off, it's easier to, you know, to write focus for whoever when it's like, you know, when it's bottlenosed like that or bottlenecked.
Right.
Yes.
The last thing I'll say about Team 2 or whatever in terms of Taiju, right? Right now, they're all in Super Alloy City, and this might be a little corny, but I feel like the boy has got to bring a ring to Yuzuriha, right? Like from Super Alloy City. You know what I mean? Lock that shit down. They're in love. Like let's finish it off. You know, this plot arc. You know what I mean? Like he's got to bring a ring from South America to Korin City.
Yo, I think that, bro. I just got.
Yes, right. Wouldn't it be awesome?
I think that's.
And they already had a lot of diamonds.
Yeah. Yes. I was gonna say, you know, they have all.
He's gonna have the boy Joel make one for him.
Yo.
Oh yes.
Shit. Wait a minute. The ring diamond is gonna be the Dr. Stone piece.
It's just like
it's gonna be
edges like set in face together, so it creates like a little pyramid or something. I don't know.
Yo.
Like Joel's talented.
I love this idea, Nick. I feel like it has to. It's one of those that I love the idea so much that I feel like it has to happen.
It's adorable.
It has to.
Yeah, like I feel like that would be such a cool, like, I'm back, Yuzuriha from Super Alloy City.
I'm back, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Get down on the come on, bro.
Yes.
It was only a few weeks for you because you got petrified, but like
it was years.
If you guessed that, that's incredible. But like if you would have never brought that up and then we got there in the story, like that would be such an intense moment. Like it would be a surprise to Yuzuriha, the same that it's like a surprise to us.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean? We'd be like, you know, like it would be such a moment, bro.
Right.
Gonna write that down, see if it happens.
Oh my god, I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember that. If that happens, I'm gonna be lit on the show.
No pressure, Nick.
Well, it's fine. I like the idea anyway. Like it's a very cute idea.
Oh no, it's adorable. I love it, and I really hope it happens,
dude. If the diamond on the ring is the fucking petrification like device diamond too, bro. Whoa.
Oh, that would be a really weird thing. Cause like, what if they made something like smaller scale versions of the Medusa?
Oh, like on the ring,
so that they could just say like, "I'm dying," and they just like. Click the ring or something, like spin the second part of the band of the ring and it clicks in, and then they're like you know
3 meters 1 second or something.
5 feet 1 second.
Yeah. Oh
just
damn.
Like life preserver stuff. I don't know, but like they have the technology. They could theoretically do it, just not now. Maybe
not right now.
Down the timeline. We need to go down the tech tree a little bit.
Right.
Oh, no,
that would be some
that
other
boy
shit.
Joel.
Yeah,
that boy Joel is different. What if he's like, you know what? I can make your ring a Medusa.
I can reverse engineer.
I can redesign. I can reverse engineer, design this with my diamond on the outside for you.
Yo, that would be insane.
They're going to space. How crazy is that? Actually, like,
yeah.
Ring life.
That is wild.
Life preserver.
Yes, I can see it.
Life alert.
Life.
I was honestly very surprised though when they put the rocket engine on the ship, but
that was wild.
Perseus. We stay getting these really good moments from Zeno and Senku together, man. Like I stay loving them.
Yeah,
so good.
Their dynamic is top tier, bro.
Page 10, so good.
They have such a presence on screen together.
Yep.
I like
Very
that
regal.
they're peers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just noticed something about the two of them on page 10, right? So I feel like because of the amount of time that Zeno was in petrification, they seem like the same height. Even though Senku, I feel like, was shorter before, right? He's growing. And they're like both adults now, maybe.
Oh shit! I didn't
Maybe.
even think about that.
Their shoulders are at the exact same level
Yeah.
in this picture.
Yeah.
It could be perspective, but I don't know.
It could be perspective,
I mean,
but
the
everything
perspective
seems to be
seems the
lining
same
up
to me,
pretty nice.
because
Yeah.
it's symmetrical.
Yeah, look at the
Right.
symmetry of the moon in the background. Look at where like both you could kind of see where both their ankles are. That's
I feel
Hey,
that.
man.
God, I think they touched on that technique
Hmm.
in like the series Bakuman. If you like
Oh.
sappy romances, yeah, Bakuman, where they do the manga, they're talking about how like authors will slowly introduce visual changes
Yeah.
over time, and I think that this would be the perfect time to like be introducing that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like Fullmetal Alchemist, where like he slowly does get as tall as Winry.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
or
yeah,
Luffy
yeah.
getting more swole over the
It's
series
that
or
subtle
whatever.
stuff,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
that's definitely a good catch.
yeah, we'd be
Yeah.
seeing
And
that.
I mean,
So it's possible.
If Senku, I mean, if Zeno seems like a prodigy. I don't know. Have we ever gotten a hard age on him?
I mean, he's like working age. He's definitely like over 18.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
he's, like,
Like,
in his
but I was
mid-20s,
thinking
I
he might
thought.
be just early 20s, like a prodigy. You know.
Oh,
Sure.
And
I just feel like
definitely
Senku was shorter.
If Senku
Yeah.
is around 17 or 18 now, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I mean, how long has he actually been out of Stone Time? Because like Senku could have easily aged at least a few years. Like they literally had the calendar thing.
Yeah, I
you
think
know?
they were. I
right.
think in this last revival, they were awake for at least a year or two before reviving Senku, weren't they?
Yeah.
Zeno,
Or I
he's-
mean before reviving Zeno.
Zeno.
Yeah, they revived
yeah.
him. They revived him like much later than everybody else.
I
I
think
will
so,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, he was last.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
the rocket engine propelled fucking giant ass ship. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily,
I mean,
it's
they
like
do say the speed. They say the
just-
speed. It's only 20 knots. I mean, that's not very fast.
yeah, and
it's
actually,
like 30 miles an hour tops. I don't know.
I mean, that's pretty fast, especially for man.
23 miles an hour.
I just want to bring
23
Chrome
miles
to an
an hour.
amusement park and see him just
oh,
geek
that's
out.
not fast at all.
That's not fast at all.
But it's way faster than a like a sailboat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like a rowboat or
Aren't they
even
using
like
a weather balloon at one point?
Yeah, and like even on the last ship that they had, I think that was coal, wasn't it?
oh yeah, like
Yeah.
a steam thing or whatever. Yeah,
steamboat, yeah.
coal
I think
steam
that
boat or whatever.
trip
Yeah,
would
yeah.
take months or something.
Right.
Yep.
So this jet engine, and it's hard to tell, right? Because like when you see the ship on page, what is this, the double spread, like 14, 15 or whatever,
Mhm.
I can't see the jet engine
Yeah.
in this page, right?
Mhm.
Now, and most boats are driven by a propeller, you know what I mean, underwater, right? So I would assume that the engine is just an engine, like not shooting out a jet beam kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
pushing the boat. It's more that the engine is turning a gear that turns the propeller.
Oh, and it's just much stronger now.
And it's
Yeah.
much stronger
Yeah.
and much more energy efficient and much faster, much more
Yep.
horsepower. And
Yep.
so it's like they say it's like 4 times faster
Yeah,
than the
they didn't
old
put a
boat.
rocket on the back of the person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be.
I was
like,
thinking about that
attached to,
too. I
like,
was like, bro, how much
a
rocket
pump
fuel they
system?
got for this?
No, this is poop power, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, or whatever fuel that they made, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Holy shit, bro.
Ah,
chapter.
man.
Hell yeah.
That's all I had though.
I think
Learned
that's-
something
that's
new with
about all
that
I had as well.
explosion.
Yeah, I think I'm good too.
All right. Well, with that, I think we can go ahead and move right into chapter 66 of Mashle.
Yeah.
Mosh Burn Dead and the Weighty Revelation.
You did
Big
it.
chapter.
You did it.
Yeah.
Eagle, you did it. That was so crazy. Like when I read this chapter and Adam was in the coffin. Because remember that was so mind blowing last week when he said that? And we were
Yeah.
like, whoa, wait, what if? And then boom, right away. Spot on.
I mean, it's that Naruto stuff, right? Like that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened in the Sarutobi
Oh, yeah.
fight or whatever.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, that was fire.
And like the guy's like the pinnacle of forbidden magic. We knew necromancy was coming.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
True.
It was
True.
gonna happen.
I mean, there is
Speak-
a coffin, and you know what I
Right.
mean, and it is dark magic, but Adam being in there
Right.
was a
Yeah.
cold-blooded spot.
Special guest.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He
When
has
it
an odd
happened, I
way.
gasped audibly
Yeah.
when I was reading it. I was like, oh.
and then I'm in Eagle's stream earlier, and he got to Mashle, and I was like, he about to turn up. Hold on, and then he fucking saw that shit and was like, wait a minute, hey, we were fucking lit in there.
It's like Adam came out the coffin on him.
Hell
And
yeah.
this he's always controlling it with like a marionette puppet thing. For a second I thought that was like his true form or something. I was like, yo, this dude looks weird.
Sure.
It's cool to see puppet or like marionette magic, like again, because we had like Abel or whatever. And then like when I first saw this, I was like, really, we're going puppeteer and puppet magic again? And then I was like, well, we're probably gonna see a whole bunch of different magics that are all in the same kind of affinity, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like
I think that dolls have had like a huge history in like magic.
Oh, sure.
Like,
yeah.
Just period. Like I think dolls are huge. Oh god. That series that got canceled way too soon.
Phantom
had
Seer.
A ton of dolls.
Yeah.
Phantom series. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought of too as soon as you said that. Hell yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
very
this
good.
chapter is fire. Yeah.
Something interesting I was kind of taken away from the first couple pages is like, it just seemed weird. Like we get these last few dialogue boxes that say noblesse oblige, the strong serve the weak. He left that ideal to his 3 pupils, including Wahlberg. For one, it's interesting that we get 3.
Three.
So there's another one that's interesting. I can't wait to see who that is. Somebody on the level of Wahlberg and this dude.
Yes.
But like we get the previous dialogue boxes that are talking about his later years were spent mainly like helping people out that weren't able to use magic.
Yeah.
And so if he's the strongest dude around and like he spent his last years helping people, you'd think he would have instilled a different ideal within his pupils.
Oh, sure.
Exactly.
But,
Like how did he get to this point?
What kind of dude was he? Like, I don't know. It's just
Well, it seems like he like was okay with people with no magic, obviously, right? But like one of the 3, or maybe 2 of the 3 pupils, obviously weren't. You know what I mean? I would say Wahlberg probably is okay with, say, people without magic, obviously supporting MASH, right?
Yeah.
But like, I totally agree with you. Like, where did Adam Jobs's vision turn astray? You know what I mean? Like, when did that happen and how did it happen? That's super interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
I wonder, because Wahlberg, like early Wahlberg in the flashback and a couple pages later, was just like, I don't get it. And so I feel like his is the standard response. Like that's the cultural response, like the cultural baseline. And he's like, I don't get it. That seems like a waste. I don't want to worry about them. And Adam was just like, you follow me because I'm the strongest. I have my reasons. This is exactly why I feel this way. You'll understand when you're older, that kind of thing. And I feel like he's a person that took a sense of duty, right? Like the name Jobs makes you think of Apple, but it also makes me think of like responsibility, right? Like a job is a responsibility. And so maybe Adam felt a responsibility to teach the most promising mages of that time, even if he didn't think that they might use that knowledge as well. He's like, well, if I don't teach them, who will?
Right.
That kind of thing. And so I wonder, he's like, yeah, no, you may not agree with me. You may completely ignore me, but I'm going to at least try.
Sure. Yeah.
Can we talk about how clean young Wahlberg looks for a second? I just want to say, young Wahlberg is a king and a half.
He looks, for real, a king and a half.
Like, come on, man. When you zoomed in on it during your stream, and I because I never zoomed in. I was like, damn, this motherfucker.
He got the 3-piece looking nice.
Yeah. Incredible.
Doesn't he cut a dashing figure?
Yeah. It's one
also,
of the
his hair has always been long.
Yeah, it has always been long. Yep.
Long hair gang.
Hell yeah.
Long hair don't care in this motherfucker. Now that shit down to the ground and shit.
Yeah.
It's funny, Mello, when you mentioned that when you think of the name Jobs, you think of Apple. And I definitely did think in this chapter in the first page, right? Adam Jobs, like, is that a Steve Jobs reference? And then when you said Apple, I was like, obviously Steve Jobs Apple, but then Adam and Eve Apple,
No
right?
way
Like,
you're saying this right now. I was literally about to make that connection, and I felt so like weird in my head, like the number 23 with Jim Carrey. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you know, Charlie from Always Sunny, like with the board and all the strings and shit. It's like Adam, Forbidden Apple, Steve Jobs, Adam Jobs, and I was like, I'm not gonna go there because that's probably a little too ridiculous. But I'm so glad that you like thought the same thing, because
see, it's not ridiculous. It's totally
it's just a good theory.
No, I'm just kidding.
Turtleneck, honestly.
The turtleneck, double, triple proof. Oh my god! Oh my god!
The author's such a troll.
Troll. I mean, obviously a troll. Obviously a troll. Or like the necromancer guy, the puppeteer.
Yeah.
The necromancer. Necros Mans. Like so close to necromancer. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so good.
He's like, I'm just having fun with these names. I don't care.
Yep.
Like, isn't Wahlberg at college? Like in real life?
It sounds like a name of a college. I don't know. I'm not my head or anything. Yeah.
It does sound like the name of a college, though.
I think it might be.
Oh God. There's like a place called Wartburg that was like near where I live.
University.
Wartburg,
I can see the commercial now.
Where all your dreams come true. So how about this conversation with Cell War, which is obviously the Weighty revelation reference by the chapter title. Pretty interesting that MASH is literally like just one of six.
One of six.
Which is very interesting.
So are they already absorbed, or did he start with MASH? Or is he starting with MASH, and then the other 5 are still out there?
Sure.
I would think since he's like been shown to be able to manipulate his body a lot, I would think he's probably at least consumed a few of them.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe at least 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume that, but I guess we haven't.
We don't know
any
if they've
dialogue on it at all.
survived. Like, if he's shut off their magical capability to kind of like, I don't know, channel that energy into enhancing the body, and they live in a society that like culls casually non-magical people. Did some of those kids even like survive adulthood? Like, is MASH one of the very few where he had a very like protective, secretive environment? If
the lack of magic in MASH is related to this ability, right? Like, I could imagine that other of the relatives have magic. You know, even Cell War might be one of the 6, because Cell War does say like, I'm just a clone. You know, I'm also going to be part of his body or whatever, or maybe he just says it would be an honor to be part of his body.
It would be
right. Yeah, I'm thinking like, okay, do these other 5, are they all like MASH, or is MASH like 1/6 of like, you know, a network of beings that give Innocent Zero a different advantage after absorption?
Man.
You know what I mean? So like, you absorb MASH so that you can have like the tightest body ever. Then you absorb like, you know, one of the brothers or sisters for a different boost in some area. I don't know,
like
what
super intelligence, like brains or something.
Yeah,
right?
maybe it's all related to like non-magical things. You know what I mean? But then like, it's tough to like fit, you know, 6 people into like what are the 6 areas? What would they be if it's all related to like mind and body? But like
6 hearts.
What'd you say?
He did say 6 hearts.
Right.
And like
but like MASH is like obviously so swole and strong, right? Like is his 6th the muscle aspect? You know what I mean? Like the physical power aspect, and maybe one of the 6th is you know, super smart or whatever, and one of the 6 might be magic, and one of the 6 might be a different one, right? I don't know, like
it's hard to think about like what all the different ones would be. That it's easier to think that they're just all like MASH, maybe. You know what I mean? But like if it's something other than that, it's like, well, then MASH could just be the body, and there's 5 other, you know, different ones that give different advantages to Innocent Zero after he consumes them or absorbs them or whatever. So that is pretty cool to think about. But like beyond MASH, it's really hard to think of what the other 5 would be inside of that
until you
idea.
get the second.
Until you get the second. But if the second one is just but if the second one is just intelligence, then that's not gonna help us with like the third one. You know what I mean?
Sure, well, then we'll just think harder. I don't know. I'm not thinking too hard right now.
Sure, yeah, you're right. But yeah, that's a really cool plot point, man. I can't wait till we get more on like that specifically. I feel like out of all of the the things that are kind of going on right now. Obviously, you want to see Wahlberg and Innocent Zero get busy. You want to see Cell War and and MASH do their thing. But at the end of the day, as far as exposition goes, I feel like that's the next thing I want really bad. It's like, what's up with these other 5 kids?
As long as we you briefly touch back on the Wahlberg and Innocent Zero stuff, like I want to take a second to appreciate this nice ass dialogue from Wahlberg in the last part of their bit of the chapter where he's just like, Master was the greatest man I knew, but as time passes, we must value the present, which is why I will not show you mercy, as I prove now. I'm now the strongest master. But I just thought it was really powerful. The second thing he says, but as time passes, we must value the present.
Yeah.
Love it.
That was really powerful.
Yeah.
You can't spend too much time holding on to the past as much as you'd like to. You gotta move forward.
Move on.
And these are the qualities that the headmaster of an organization like this should have. It makes him feel like he's been so enigmatic, I feel like, for like the entire series, and now we're starting to like really get down to brass tacks on like who this character is and like how he feels about the world and his students and the next generation. And it's always powerful when the old master gets in their bag philosophically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah, this was the chapter for that for sure, and I'm sure we're gonna get more.
Yeah,
I loved on 17, like MASH just obliterating this dude's face, like, and he's like even thinking like, I'm not done talking yet.
Yeah. You should have known. You
good.
already squared up once. This motherfucker don't play no games. You're gonna try to talk to this man for longer than 30 seconds. You're gonna get swung on.
Why are you
and
talking
then
shit?
powerful dialogue from MASH as well. It doesn't matter whether my life has some deep meaning or not.
Fire.
I'm still unstoppable.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's such a I love this kind of like duality inside of MASH, you know what I mean? Or at least inside of his character, where it's like, it's all jokes, it's very funny, but when it comes down to it, he's just gonna give powerful, confident dialogue. Like, everything, he's very dumb or whatever, but it's like when he's focused, the shit he says is so cold-blooded, dude, and it's like, that's such
you
a cool
still ain't
character.
hit me.
Yeah.
And I smacked your ass a couple times.
Yeah. And we always get that like end of chapter dialogue from MASH before he's about to square up, like when he was fighting that Carpaccio guy, and he's like, that's all fine and dandy, bro, but I've never met anyone stronger than me, so run them hands up, you know what I mean? And it's like, holy shit, MASH, like, it's just such a cool
I can
to go from
your
that to
philosophy
that.
Of the strong will be right, because I've never met anyone stronger than
yeah, and it's like, dude, like that's so hype at the end of the chapter every time.
So peak.
Let's talk about Hephaestus.
Yes.
Yeah,
What
Hephaestus.
else? I can't wait to see this one. I think this one is going to be especially tight.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of God, it takes like 44 people to forge an iron sword out of blood.
What?
Wait, what'd you say?
Yeah. Like Reddit or something said that like they did the math, and they're like, you need this much blood to forge an iron sword, and that's where I'm going for, because he gets like, I was a clone made of my father from a drop of blood, and so I feel like his blood, like he's wearing this thorny crown which is supposed to draw blood. His whole wand is terrifying. Like, if you're afraid of needles, it's barbed. It's awful. It's supposed to draw blood. And the thing that I thought was really interesting for this guy is that once he says he's a clone, and that like MASH is also kind of a clone. I was like, man, they do kind of look like each other. Like, they share the same like face markings.
Yeah, I mean, MASH is fake, obviously, but yeah. Like, they do look similar for sure.
When we get him actually getting a third line too.
Yeah, the third line comes out so that the master can can get busy and do his thing. Yes, sir. Hephaestus, Greek blacksmith god.
Hephaestus.
Hephaestus, Hephaestus.
Yeah.
Yep, blacksmith god. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
I just was thinking it could be especially tight because I don't know. I don't know.
In
Hephaestus
Greek mythology,
is obviously the forger of the weapons of the gods and stuff like that.
Right.
So he could have been the forger of all these. I don't know if these.
Ooh, the master.
Was there actual gods that? Obviously, no. You have a contract with the gods and shit. So maybe Hephaestus built all these wands and shit.
Yeah, that'd be
interesting. That'd be super interesting.
I am waiting for him to wave his wand, and those like spikes will like detach and just like fashion themselves into like lances and swords and shields and like walls.
Or you could just say fuck it, wave the wand, and then fucking iron shoots out of like, you know, just the body of, you know, whoever the target is, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
from their iron to their blood, or
yeah,
whatever,
or something like that.
saying.
Yeah, like yeah, you know what I mean? Like you start attacking the iron and
that's a JoJo ability.
Oh,
Part
is
5.
it? Yeah, I feel like I've seen that in other things too, like maybe like, not like directly iron, but just spikes coming out like from the body. I feel like I might have seen it like Batman a couple times too.
And Mash made him bleed, so maybe he's like, okay, yeah, and from like his face like starts sprouting, like rapidly speeding up, going towards it is like this giant like twisted tree of like reddish metal.
That would be fucking
just like
metal.
Just stabbing out at Mash, and just like branches extending rapidly to like reach him.
like All for One's like or Shigaraki's like tendrils.
It feels like if it was like lightning made physical manifest, like it would branch out like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's so funny. On the I googled Hephaestus, and it says in Greek mythology, Hephaestus was either the son of Zeus and Hera, or he was Hera's parthenogenous child. Which I don't even know like what that word is, but
I think it's the same process where like Zeus made birthed Athena by himself by being virtue of a god.
Oh, sure. I recognize like the root word is like Parthenon, which is like that like giant. You know, like what I think it was their law building in Rome or something.
I think it's a virgin birth.
Oh, virgin birth. Oh, well, maybe that's not
because like
that's crazy.
And
yeah.
The weird thing is like Hephaestus, the Greek god, after he was born, Hera looked upon him and saw that he was like born like misshapen, malformed. Like he had a limp, he was deemed a cripple, and she like threw him off Mount Olympus. He survived and then like started making becoming a master blacksmith to survive, and like ended up making the weapons of the gods, and that was kind of how he bought his way back into Olympus.
Oh shit, hold on, wait, this man is petty. This dude's like, a trickster. In one story, Hephaestus builds a tricky invention which catches Aphrodite laying with Ares, the god of war, trapping them both in the bed to be laughed at and ridiculed by the other gods.
No, it's true. He was married to Aphrodite.
He
Hephaestus
was
married to Aphrodite, and then Ares was having an affair, and he's just like, and they're like, "What are you gonna do? I'm fucking Ares, the god of war," and he's just like, "Fine, I don't have to be stronger than you. I know I'm smarter." And just like, "Hey, you're gonna do me dirty? Well, then everyone is gonna know you're gonna do me dirty."
Right?
So.
Damn.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he definitely he made Zeus's thunderbolt, Hades' pitchfork, and Poseidon's trident.
Tight.
All the other gods' weapons, basically.
So tight.
Yo. So that really lends to the idea that like maybe this wand is involved in maybe like the genesis of the other wands, or like, or if you know the gods are real, then maybe they made the wands or something, right? Or maybe Hephaestus made the wands. That's a really interesting idea for sure.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh man, what if he just like creates like these little weird iron towers that are shaped like wands, and from those wands like spells are coming out of them. So like Mash has to be aware of like his surroundings.
I mean, Mash has got the footwork to deal with anything.
He is speed.
He literally is speed and strength incarnate.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think
poor Mash.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for Mashle though this week.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Well, with that, we can probably go ahead and move right into chapter 316 of My Hero Academia. Your turn.
Whoa, man.
And this was a good chapter.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
I was saying in my reaction stream, this is probably my favorite chapter of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, very good contender.
It's really good.
Very good contender for chapter of the week. It was cool to see that, well, not cool, but it was like nice to confirm that Nagant's face is still there.
Yes.
Because I remember that was a point in our conversation last week with Aniki, where someone brought up like, "Yo, is her face gone or some shit?"
Right. They're just like black.
Yeah, and then you made a point like it's probably just not trying to show like hella gore or something like that, or whatever you said. And I think it was definitely supposed to like make us like wonder for a week. You know what I mean? Like, is her face gone? Is it actually there? Is Koei going to go there? And
Right.
Yeah.
you know, we see, you know, exactly what it was here now. And so it's crazy. I'm wondering like what the explosion like really like, was it just energy like out the mouth, like out the ears, like where
It
like
looks like
did
her face ruptured, like it cracked.
Right.
yeah
Cracked,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
and then the
like,
explosion
maybe the
came out from
blood.
those cracks and like the
Mhm.
like how is the face still intact then? Like that's just crazy to think about.
Right.
Yeah, she looks brittle
Yeah.
when they've like got her somewhat recovered, or like she
Yeah,
like her face looks literally brittle, like it looks like cracked like porcelain.
Yeah.
Right. But it's I feel like it's cracked like Shigaraki when all for
Mhm.
one was kind of inside him and kind of coming out or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen these cracks a couple times.
Mhm.
And I think it's related to that. It's like the cracks of too many quirks fit into one body.
Ooh,
You know what I
there we go.
mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
weaponized that. That's so
Right.
weird.
But in terms of the explosion, I'm not sure it's like one too many quirks and it just blew up. But like he probably all for one put in like an explosion quirk with some sort of condition, like or remote. He can like remote do it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I can hear from her ears or whatever, and she's betraying me. So
She said
boom,
the
I'm
wrong
gonna
thing. Click.
right
Yeah.
click and then boom. You know.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah. That's
Actually,
wild.
there's a precedent for this.
Mm.
If you guys, I don't know if you keep up with My Vigilante Illegal.
Okay. No,
the
I
side
don't.
story.
Oh, the
The
vigilantes.
current
Nuh-uh.
villain
Right.
is having like a bunch of like dummy clones that he can remote control, and they also explode.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
Okay.
That's tight.
Nice.
So, and he's like the current handyman for All for One. Like, it's not
Okay.
like
Oh,
overtly stated, but like he's using their kind of stuff. Like this guy, the bad guy, was sculpted to have multiple quirks, which included a self-exploding,
Gotcha.
self-detonating ability.
There
But
it
he
is.
also had like massive regeneration too. So he would like explode, punch you, or cut off his
Nice.
arm and
Sure.
throw it and explode it, and then create an exit and like. Free.
Oh, that's kind of reminds me of
Was
Retse
that-
from Chainsaw Man now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's cool that you know that though, because like I feel like a lot of people, and I feel like I gotta read Vigilantes pretty soon.
Yeah.
here.
It's
Same.
pretty
yeah.
good.
And
I
it would
like
be it would be
it.
good for us to do. And people have been telling us that like the entire time that we've been a show. Like, are you guys reading Vigilantes? Are you guys reading Vigilantes? So it's cool that we
Mhm.
have like a vigilante reader on
Right.
now. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah, that's awesome.
And persistent. Eventually, you'll break down.
yeah, yeah. Just to
Right.
just to connect those dots. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like that's gotta be related. You know what I mean? So like that's
Mhm.
just
Oh,
really cool.
for sure.
Yeah, really cool to get on this show. Yeah.
In the beginning of this chapter, some awesome like quick reaction stuff from Deku, right? Where Hawks
Yep.
like
Falling
realizes I
down.
can't actually fly
Boink.
that well, and like immediate reflex like black whip to save Hawks or whatever.
Mhm.
Just a really cool scene all around the arrival of Endeavor and Hawks or whatever.
Yeah.
And just how quickly he assessed the situation when Hawks is like, "Yo, this kid is next level."
Yeah.
Just explains the situation quick as fuck after it just happened. Like boom, 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 boom.
Right.
But I thought it was a nice little touching moment between Hawks and Nagant here, where
Yes.
he's like, "Yo, I'm your replacement. Like, I understand the shit you've been through. I understand how you could have gotten talked into this, but like, don't give up. Like, you know what I'm saying? At least leave us with some hope to hold on to. At least
Yeah.
tell
Right.
us something if you're gonna die right here. And
Mhm.
even then, don't. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, don't die.
Survive.
Right.
You are
Yeah.
a hero. You can help us."
Yeah.
I thought that on page 5 when Nagant was coming out of like the unconscious and like you see the light on the top of 5 and she's becoming conscious and kind of like, oh, he's my replacement, and then this comment like, how do you still have that glimmer in your eye, right? After all you've done. And like that I think hit so hard for me. Like I was like, God damn, that
Yeah,
was like intense,
fire.
like so well written. But then
Yeah.
like I feel like unfortunately for me personally, when she asked him flat out, like on page 7, like, how do you still have that look in your eye? And then his answer on page 8, it really didn't do it for me. I thought the initial like, how do you have that glim in your eye was way cooler than
Yeah.
I don't know, I wasn't alone. Okay, boring. Yes, great. We're all heroes. Awesome. And what can I say? I'm optimistic to a fault. Oh, great. You're just a happy-go-lucky guy. Great. Okay, that's very relatable and great.
And
Cool,
totally what
very-
you should say to me on my deathbed when I ask you.
yeah, exactly. Like where's the impact? Like
Yeah.
I feel like the impact was definitely the initial like page 5, like
Yeah.
how do you have that glimmer in your eye? Like that really hyped up Hawks to me. You know what I mean? Like, oh damn, man, that's so cool.
Yeah, that is that. Yeah, you're right. That was kind of an underwhelming response. Now that
That's just
think
my
about it.
opinion.
I think that Hawks is
I
not
didn't really think about
the
it. Yeah.
best social performer.
Sure.
Like, he's got
sure.
a very he takes on a persona, and that's great. But like, he's not the most convincing because like even Endeavor, who didn't know him, was just like, something's up. You're up to something. Like
Mhm.
the League of Villains was like, hey, you know, this guy may not be entirely on level. We'll see how it goes. He
Mhm.
seems like he's doing good, but like they're always like a low key suspicion, and so Hawks was just like, hey, I can't convince people. Endeavor can convince people. I'm not convincing.
Sure.
Oh,
And
sure.
so I think that maybe he just doesn't have the words
Yeah.
Sure.
to
But
really
we know
express
he's
it.
nice.
Yeah.
We know he's got a great like you know, like we know that he's like a liar, you know what I mean? He's like a covert like
Yeah.
you know, like special ops, you know what I mean? Like spy, you know what I mean? So he's got to have the ability to say the right thing at any point in time, you know what I mean?
True. He is a charmer for
So
sure.
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. There was shoot. I
Lost your train of thought.
yeah, I completely lost my train of
Oh
thought.
no, that's
That's
all
okay,
good. That's
that's
all
okay.
I
good.
flipped back from one page and I was just like,
Yeah, like oh shit.
well,
yeah.
and
There it is. It
gone.
happens all the time.
I
But
thought
not.
this
No.
Yeah, go
this
ahead.
Great early
dialogue
action.
between Chisaki and Deku on page,
Yeah.
pages 9
That was
into-
heavy.
Yeah.
pages, well, the bottom of 8 and into 9
Right.
Oh yeah, dude, this was it.
and the top of 10,
Mhm.
where he's like, "Oh, bring me to the boss. I just really want to say sorry to the boss." And like Deku's like, "Oh, you want to say sorry to the boss, huh?
Mhm.
You remember all that shit you did to Eri though?
Yes.
So like keep that same energy, G.
Yeah.
Go apologize to her and I'll take you to your men's." Like, what up?
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was
shit,
so
that hit pretty hard for me.
yeah, that was such a big Deku moment because like it's all like Deku is demanding this like entirely like himself, you know what I mean? Like usually like whenever Deku, how do I word this? It's like he's making a decision of like what he is going to do next that isn't based on school, isn't based on like an internship or like the hero that he's studying under. Like this is a completely like free will Deku saying like, yo, I'm putting my foot down and we're doing this. We're going to, despite whatever plans Endeavor might have, you know, or All Might have, like he's going to go back to them and be like, we're doing this. He's going to go tell them we're going to go do this, and they're probably going to be fucking down for it. And like that's just such a cool kind of like situation that Deku is in, where you can just call shots like that completely, you know, separate from any kind of you know, parental figure or any kind of, you know what I mean, like
mentor,
you know what I mean, or
yeah.
and it's not school related, it's not like, it's like just his decision to do this in the middle of everything that's going on, and like that's just so cool that he has that kind of stake in the game now, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it's a very fully realized action. Like
There we go.
And touching back on that, that reminds me of what I was going for. Deku and Hawks, those two interactions with like him and Nagant and him with Chisaki and thinking of Eri, both of their actions are thinking about the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like when Hawks is asking Nagant for information, he's phrasing it as help me. Even though he's the one who's actively helping her, he's like giving her agency and like a sort of comfort by giving the choice and like presenting it as you're helping someone, you are doing a good thing. Like that's a sort of like saving a person mentally and emotionally while they're literally in free fall, as well as an emotional free fall.
Yeah.
And then thinking about Eri and is like, this is how I can save Eri. Like if I can help give her closure, she'll it's okay. If I were Eri, I would never forgive Chisaki. But if I heard like an apology as a young child, that would stick with me, and it wouldn't be this like haunting loose end terror part of my life.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. I like that. I was definitely wondering like why. Yeah. Like why would you bring him to her? You know what I mean? Like it seems like such a bad idea, but like in that sense of like giving him the opportunity to tell a young girl like I'm sorry and to not have her be super traumatized her whole life. Like that, I guess that does make sense or whatever for sure.
Yeah.
It's like a step to healing. And like her control of her power seems to be tied into her like mental like stability.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
if she gets that, she might actually like accelerate her mastery over power or ease into a level of comfort
Yeah.
with her power.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be super huge to have another like recovery girl on the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the Nagant and Hawks interaction,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really cool the point in the story that we're in, because like these themes, you know, have kind of been there pretty much the entire series, but like this ideology that these villains have, or this outlook that these villains share to a certain degree about like how flawed society is and how they get away with being flawed because of what one reason or another. And with Stain, I mean, like we it's been there the whole series. Like with Shigaraki, he was just kind of like a mumbling crackhead in the beginning, and like we didn't really understand exactly like what he was really going for. And then by the time you get Stain, you get this like fully realized outlook that is like so diametrically opposed from like the, you know, protagonist side, and it makes sense. And there's like, you know, he's spitting, but he's going about it the wrong way. But he's still like, the message that he's putting out there is that like, you guys are all acting like you know what the fuck is good, but you don't. And then you get, you know, fully realized or more fully realized Shigaraki and the PLF war that kind of like really drives that point home from Stain. And now we're like really have a good, you know, idea of what these villains are talking about. But when Stain was kind of giving his monologues in his arc, we didn't have as good of an understanding of the ins and outs of society. We just saw this as like a murderous maniac, you know, that was spitting, you know what I mean? But like we didn't really
spitting.
Yeah, he was spitting, you know, to a certain degree, but like we didn't really understand just how well he was spitting back then.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you have the Paranormal Liberation Front war that really exposes that, you know, to the degree that heroes themselves are proving it by stepping down once the heat rises. Now all of these heroes that love to be on TV and in magazines don't want to be heroes anymore because there's real hero work to do. And it really you know, gave more power to like things that Stain said and things that Shigaraki said and things that Chisaki said. Now Lady Nagant is kind of like really sounding, you know, a lot like Stain, a lot like Shigaraki in regard to her outlook. But now this time with Nagant bringing it back and complaining about, you know, platitudes and how all of these things that people say about how the world should be is played out because they don't have the means to actually bring it to that point. You know what I mean? But now she's looking the real heroes in the eyes. You know what I mean? Everybody else is bounced. You know what I mean? The ones that weren't supposed to be here, they stepped down. A lot of people are dead. These are the ones that are on the ground floor right now trying to make this shit happen with all the odds against them. And it's like, these are the people that are going to make those platitudes like reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's asking like, it's just bringing like this little really quick, small character arc. Like, it's so potent, you know what I mean, at the same time, because there's so much of the story's themes baked into her character. And she's coming to a realization like society can do this, and these are the people who are going to do it. She's never probably had that feeling before while she's been out doing whatever kind of assassinations or talking to whatever government officials that put whatever in her ear her entire life. Now in this moment when she's dying, she sees Deku, Endeavor, Hawks, Best Jeanist right here on the front line. You know what I mean? And it's probably like really liberating for her to see that there was light at the end of that tunnel. You know what I mean?
I don't think
well
Best
said,
Jeanist is here for this last scene of hers, but
Or whatever. You know what I mean? Whoever's.
Yeah, he's probably nearby because they're like a team or whatever.
Yeah, they're all
before
together.
so,
you know what I mean?
So yeah, you're not right here.
But I thought, you know, speaking about this, when All Might pulls up in the whip, like, yo, this panel right above the bottom panel on page 11 of Deku's eyes, showing the rage as he like just sits over Nagant and thinks back on just what happened. And then that panel with the gradient black to white, like
Fire.
1-4.
This is exactly what I wanted for Deku. I wanted him to like, because he's a good kid, he's a strong kid, he's very firm. But like, he had very little edge, right? This is him sharpening his teeth for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And you see that edge a lot on page 13, when he's walking into that mansion. Look at that top left 13.
Man.
Those eyes.
Yes, those eyes, like I'm continuing to love those new eyes of his. I said that in my reaction stream as well. Like his new All Might eyes look so fucking tight.
Yeah, it is very Batman. Yeah, there is a very
I love
Batman
it.
vibe throughout like the rest of this last part of the chapter. With,
Yes.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like it feels very, haha, now Batman, I lured
Yes.
you into my, you know what I mean, into my trap here. And now I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm going to, you know, or whatever, but it's not obviously not, you know, that cheesy. You know, it's not cheesy, you know, Adam West
Honestly,
Batman villain, but you know what I mean?
Right. But honestly, for me, like, even as it is on its face cheesy, like a comical supervillain, like, I've trapped you in this mansion, it's gonna
Yeah.
blow up or whatever. And
Yeah.
as cheesy as that is, this actually really, really, really makes me like All for One more.
Fuck yeah.
Honestly. Because
Yeah.
this is him flexing his super genius
Yes,
supervillain,
yes,
right? Let's
yes.
set up this like, how did they get here, right? He
Yeah.
obviously lied to Lady Nagant. Bring Deku here, right? He was
Yeah.
gonna kill all of them. He was gonna kill Nagant. He was gonna kill Deku
Yeah.
with his bomb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, oh, when Deku gets there, like, either he knows that Nagant succeeded with his like, you know, All for One telepathy or whatever that he used to like figure out that she was a traitor, and he would play video 1 and be like, thank you, Nagant, for bringing Deku here, but you fucked up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna blow this thing up.
Why are you giving him like a 20s mob boss?
I'm more thinking like the Penguin, or Riddler from way back old school.
Riddler for sure.
That's like Adam West Batman like villain voices, you know what I mean?
It really was. It's
Blackbeard.
Classic like James Bond villain.
Yeah,
Right.
James
kind of
Bond
stuff.
villains
I
too.
love it.
Turn around in the chair like, no,
think-
Mr. Bond.
I've trapped you in this building and it's gonna blow up.
And soon you will die.
Anyway, I love we've not had a super genius supervillain flex
Yeah.
in this story yet, I don't think, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is the time where All for One is going to flex that genius aspect. We're going to get a lot of misdirection and like, you know, trying traps, and because like they are trying to stall for time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I love All for One even more. This chapter was huge
I'm
for
loving
me
him.
in liking All for One.
I'm loving him.
He
And
loves-
another thing that he kind of did with Deku, sorry, Mello, I just want to throw this out here real quick. But like another thing with Deku is that like he saw Lady Nagant blow up. He knows that was All for One's doing. You know what I mean? How does that affect Deku, like, mentally, obviously, psychologically, is big. And now he's got to wonder, is that what All for One's going to do with every villain that he fights, like, leading up to All for One? Like, if I beat them, are they going to fucking explode? If I say the wrong thing to them and they say the wrong thing back, are they going to fucking explode every time?
Oh,
like,
man.
Like, I got to, like, Deku has to think about that now, like, constantly.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
If I convince them, if I change their mind, will they explode because I did?
Yeah. He's putting All for One is putting so much on this man's plate right now, and it's
pretty
crazy.
safe to assume they will.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Because it's like obviously he's adding this bomb to them with unbeknownst to them. He's like, here, I'll give you a quirk, and then you know the quirk is like, you know, Trojan horse for this bomb that he's also slipping in there. You know what I mean? And it's like they have no idea. They would have no way of knowing that. You know what I mean? I would assume so, because Nagant looked to be totally caught by surprise by it. You know, everyone can assume. I would doubt she knew about that. You know, so like that's just a lot for Deku to have to think about, I feel like. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Mello?
I was really enjoying the levels that like All for One is embodying. Like he is a truly evil person. Like I don't think he planned for Nagant to ever like commit. I think that he expected her to fail and was planning to blow her up regardless, just to fuck with Deku.
Oh, sure.
Just to get him angry, just to start antagonizing him, making him hate him, because like All for One's a calculating bastard.
Yeah.
And fighting All Might, he was just
What'd you
like,
say?
hey,
You kinda
I'm
cut out
gonna
for a
taunt
sec.
you. Oh, like when he was fighting All Might,
Yeah.
he was always taunting him, trying to
Oh.
bait him. He prefers his opponents angry, because when they're angry, they're predictable, and he can set them up for failure over and over again.
Yeah. And when you have
the
a
way
villain
they
with
set
the
up,
cunning of All for One, like that's a huge advantage to have your villains or your enemies angry at you. You know what I mean?
I feel like he's embodying it kind of like the evil, and he there's a phrase called "Do not trust the man who plays with words, who bandies with reason." for he does not mean a word he says.
Mm-hmm.
That he speaks in bad faith. So he talks about like his like philosophy and like, oh yeah, no, heroism, it's not really a thing. You're just the tool of society. He doesn't care about any of the arguments he's spitting.
Oh, sure.
He's only trying to undermine and like mentally rattle Deku and cause him mental anguish. The point is, I think at his core, All For One literally just wants to be better than others. He is motivated purely by a very simple evil, and he embodies that really well. I am better than others, either by physically overpowering them or mentally dominating them,
and then he
forcing
dresses
them to
it
do
up.
stuff.
He dresses his motivations up as the exact thing the heroes don't want to hear every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he just dresses it up.
That's a cool way to look at it, dude.
Like,
wow.
He inhabits all forms of evil. Like, if you look at like the CRC, the Creature Rejection Clan, like the KKK parallel.
Yeah.
Like even their hideout reminds me of an old plantation mansion.
Oh shit.
Like if you look at like if you just Google Rose Hill Plantation, very similar architecture. And it's abandoned. It's an empty shell, and so All For One is inhabiting an empty shell of this group that is considered evil, full of hate. And I like the idea that no matter what form or shape of evil appears, All For One is trying to embody that kind of like simple evil. And it has different faces and it has different motivations, but it's all boils down to the same premise of I want to be better than others.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's crazy that we have. Oh yeah, go ahead.
And then the heroes are like pointing like, I am the same as you. Like Deku and Hawks, they're just like, I'm not better than you. And that's what makes them heroes.
Sure.
I'm just here and I can help.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm not better than you. I want to help. And that makes them heroes.
Absolutely. It's crazy that we have a Creature Rejection Clan though, like name tag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they've been kind of like slowly building up that you know, that discrimination against, you know, mutant style heteromorphs and mutant style quirks, you know what I mean? But to actually get the name of a faction for it, like a legitimate group of people, is really wild. And like if we are going down this road, which I definitely think we are, it's something that we've kind of been excited to see, you know, Horikoshi, you know, touch on and explore inside of the series. And it's like the X-Men fan in me is lit right now because there's so many, you know, anti-mutant hate groups in X-Men comics that all have incredible plot lines and themes that Kohei could be taking from. You have the Purifiers, you have Project Wide Awake, you have like all of these, you can go down the fucking list. Like that's such a big part of X-Men storytelling. And if we're really going into a more X-Men style groove with like the Batman, you know, undertone on top of it with fucking All Might in the whip, you know what I mean? And we start getting all of these really crazy obvious Western comic book references going at the same time, I'm gonna be feasting every weekend. Biggest like smile on my face you ever
program,
see. All that shit, Sentinel program shit. Oh no,
all the crazy groups.
Yeah, dude.
So here's the really interesting thing I thought of in terms of this. We only get one narration box with this, right? Former hideout of the Creature Rejection Clan, the hate group against heteromorphs. It's literally the only thing we get of this entire group. You know what I mean? So little that you don't even know whose side they're on.
Right.
Because, for example, like you would think that All For One would be pro-heteromorph, right? He's the voice of the oppressed, the people who he manipulates heteromorphs to fight on his cause because they're discriminated against from society, right?
Yeah.
So are these people on his team? Probably not, right? Are they working? Like, say a lot of like, you know, fascists or whatever, like super right-wing people, like they really like the cops and the government, right? Like these people could be super pro-hero, maybe just not heteromorph heroes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. There's definitely like a discrimination thing. I remember them getting wiped out by Shigaraki during his like My Villain Academia arc.
Is that what this place
remember
is?
they had like black cloaks with skulls, like they were really dressed up in like, black robes.
Totally right.
Yeah,
I don't even
those
remember
guys.
That was a long time ago.
They were just like a small splinter group. They got wiped by Shigaraki, and then All For One's just like, yeah, okay, well, it's there. it's mine to use. And I don't think he actually cares about heteromorphs at all. He's just
Right.
like, yeah, I know what motivates you, and I know that you want some sort of satisfaction, and I will pretend to offer it you. Just do what I want you to do. That's all.
You're totally right. Chapter 220. They are definitely in that chapter, and they fight against the Shigaraki or whatever. That's awesome. Yeah, I totally
love
forgot
the
about that.
throwback.
Whoa, how did you get the chapter so quick? Did you say the chapter?
Yeah,
first?
220. I just googled Creature Rejection Clan, and it says manga
sure.
debut, chapter 220.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
One's monologue is cold, right? Like,
Yes.
we gotta appreciate kind of like how skillfully he's like actively manipulating this poor 14-year-old kid.
Oh yeah, I just went back to 220 right now, and like second page is like that exact mansion that they just ran up on.
Nice.
I was
Fire.
So
Yeah, they're in here going crazy, killing everybody. I forgot all
They're
about
literally
this.
the clan.
right.
Fire.
So are they bad? I mean, yes, obviously they're bad.
bad.
Sorry,
Yeah,
obviously
for
they're
sure,
bad. But
for
like,
sure.
are they villains against heroes?
I think they're villains against
Heteromorphs, right?
in period.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
it's just a rival gang, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
Like, Shigaraki's crew has plenty of heteromorphs. It has
Right.
Spinner.
Spinner.
At least. Some of the others, like they had that crescent fish tooth guy, the cannibal. Mandible the
Moonfish?
cannibal.
Moonfish.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
dude in like the
Moonfish, there we go.
dominatrix gear with the straight
Yeah.
jacket baked into it. Yeah.
And even Machia,
Voldo, yeah.
Gigento Machia, you could probably consider a heteromorph. He looks definitely
Absolutely. He
weird, right?
definitely a
Definitely don't look
heteromorph.
like us.
Look at his face.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's so exactly as you said, Mello. Like, All for One considers this kind of just a throwaway tool. You know what I mean? Like,
Stepping stone.
use it,
Means to
don't
an
use
end.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Uh,
interesting.
That it's your turn. It's just so chilling.
Oh man,
Yo.
the parallel to All Might.
The
I
parallel to All
love the
Might.
dread. That he's
Fucked
like,
up.
Yuna's like, I wasn't thinking about All Might when I was in prison. I was thinking about how I could fuck with you this
Mhm.
entire time.
God damn.
And that's terrifying. Like, he's just saying stuff to mess with him.
right.
And I
Shit
like
eating
the-
grin as
the
always.
throwback. I like the throwback of the soul, where he's just like, every battle grinds away at your soul with no end in sight. And then like Nagant is just like, how do you still have a soul
Mhm.
after doing this grinding work that I did? Like,
Right.
she does like talk about her soul. They do talk about her soul at the beginning of the chapter, and then it's
when
touched
she
back
has
on
her
All
little...
for One.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, all right, I see you.
Yeah.
I see you.
Look at these silhouettes.
But
He reached out to some others. These silhouettes on 7.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, what is up with you? Got buddy with the dreads in the back.
Yeah.
You got dude with the I don't even
God
know
of High
what
School crossover.
Oh shit, yeah. Oh my god. You got this like hunched over one, like closest to All for One.
Yeah.
What's going on, dude?
Resident Evil 5 looks great.
Oh
It's Moreau.
man, this is gonna be one hell of a lineup here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If Nagant was the
So-
first one,
Woo! She was scary.
yeah,
She was
dude.
Scary.
Something interesting about the juxtaposition between the two It's Your Turns is that
Mhm.
while All for One in this chapter is smiling and looking right at him, All Might when he did it was like looking away from the camera, and he was also like frowning, pissed off.
Yeah,
Sure.
and- yeah. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool, man.
That's awesome.
The conversation continues.
What a chapter, dude. What the hell?
And okay, let's
Yeah,
talk
they-
about like the mansion explodes. I guess we're assuming that everyone gets out of here safely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because like on page 16, Deku did have his spider sense kick in.
Yep.
Mhm.
So he had at least a hint that it was going to happen. Hard to save everyone, I think, in this situation, but maybe would you go into this situation with like a Fajin like pretty charged up? So you just like
Oh, sure.
spider sense, black whip everyone, bust out with Fajin or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yep,
I'm trying
I
to
like
think
that.
how do you get out of here?
I like that a lot.
Right.
They might use shockwaves to like insulate themselves. Because I think Endeavor would do something like Flame of Rekka a little bit, or
Whoa, Flame of Rekka. Oh shit, I haven't thought about that in a while.
or Fire Force, where they create like a bubble of heat to like soften the impact of an explosion by creating like, counter wall that rises out. So I feel like Endeavor might be able to just like pop a shield a little bit and protect himself. But Deku's probably just like, I'm out a window, bye.
Yeah, I like the idea that so I like the idea that Nick had where he just like has Fa Jin's kind of like stacked up ready to use, and then when the explosion happens, like black whip everyone. I feel like that's the most efficient way to save everybody. As far as the idea is presented so far, I'm trying to find where the spider sense is shown. You
16,
said on 16,
bottom right.
Bottom right.
Like there's lightning bolts.
Oh, sure. I was looking for the paneling effect that were you.
Oh no,
used to. Yeah, that's not there. Right. Okay. But yeah, that's fine. And he does react to like, like
right
after
on the last page.
Yeah. So we're Gucci. He got him out of there.
Oh, definitely.
But I want to say it's Deku just rounded everybody up with Black Whip and bounced out the fucking front door, like, you know what I mean? Like real quick, like Fa Jin jump back with everybody tied up would be like sick to see. Yeah, that'd be dope sequence to see in the manga.
I definitely don't think we're gonna have anyone die. I mean, we do have more people here, right? So we have like Best Genius, Mount Lady, Endeavor,
Headshot is there.
Headshot.
Damn, I didn't even notice.
Why is
Headshot.
Mount Lady in every like top tier fucking operation?
She's so useful. She's so big. Like that's a big deal. Yeah, size is a big deal. Like if you don't have, you know what I mean, like Superman villains that like see a giant body and can just blow a hole through it, you know what I mean, like instantly, then a big body is like a really big asset, you know what I mean, to have just around.
Gigantomachia was dead useful.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a Gigantomachia and Mount Lady. Like I want a big guy on my team. Hell yeah. Get over here. We're gonna kick some ass. Let's go.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that about does it for my hero.
Yeah, I think
Mm-hmm. All right, well, with that, I think we can go ahead and move right into the Piece de Resistance, chapter 1016 of One Piece. It's me, Otama. And we get this cool little cover page right here. I like this because this is exactly the moment between Nami and Shinobu, but with them replaced with a cat and Zoro.
Oh, damn, I didn't even notice that.
That's fantastic, dude.
Nice.
Similar scene. I like the reader request. Ninja Zola and Ninja Cat trying to avoid spears in a crawl space above the ceiling. Buy honey liquor.
Yeah.
Dude, Ninja Zoro is everything.
The crawl space,
Yeah.
Ninja Zoro is everything.
Yeah, Ninja Zoro is so tight. He's got all three of the swords on the back instead of the hip.
Yeah, yes.
Fire.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Fire.
That's so good.
So ninja.
Man. What a chapter, though. This chapter was fire.
Yeah.
I liked the framing that the first 2 pages had.
Yes.
Where like you are outside, you zoom in, you go to the part, and then like you're on the ground, you look up, and it's like bright and cheery, but you're like, I don't know if it, like, because like we know about Wano and bright and cheeriness can be a little forced, and I'm like, oh, this is still bittersweet, but it's like a beautiful moment. And I love the part like, I'm sure he's looking down at this very moment, watching over you and the fate of this country, and then just above them, looking down upon
Onigashima about to sit on their shit.
It's just like,
for real, just.
You think
like,
so? Do you guys think
everybody in the country is here right now?
Do you guys
even
think that's really going to
like
happen?
Okobore Town? I mean, if Kaido wins, that's what he's planning on doing. But we obviously know he's going to get his ass whooped.
But do you think there's a possibility that Onigashima could fall onto the flower capital before the fight is finished?
Or like a chunk of it, at least.
I kind of doubt it.
They, like,
I don't think the entire like population of Wano is going to get smushed.
No, not all of it. But
maybe some people could die. Maybe there's some like falling rubble situation where it's like, going down like shit. But I don't know.
Right, like the Noah, crashing into Fishman Island, right? I feel like if that were going to happen, Luffy would stop it somehow. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to imagine how you could possibly stop something that big, right? Because this is like way bigger than the Noah, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is it Kaido's ability that is causing this to float? Like what?
Yeah.
Do we understand? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The cloud spiraling around the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, that makes there's a ticking time bomb. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Easy stakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's hard for I guess I don't know off the top of my head if Kaido got knocked out, would the cloud dissipate?
I was literally just thinking that.
Yeah, because
Right.
they're if they get knocked out, all their like ability based shit gets like
Turned
done
off.
away with. So.
Yeah.
But is
turned off.
that still true for these clouds? I guess you know what I mean. Like usually, I would agree, totally agree. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we can attribute it kind of like to the birdcage. You knocked out Doflamingo. The birdcage went away. The birdcage was like a completely like self-sustaining thing, separate from Doflamingo's direct interaction. The same way that these clouds are. Obviously, it's all linked to them, and they're concentrating on it and thinking about it. But like, I
thought the birdcage was still him controlling strings, like just awakened devil fruit strings or whatever.
Well, the birdcage
Right.
was like an independent thing where he would tell it, like he didn't have to. I don't think he was really controlling it actively. I think he kind of set it as just a thing that would happen.
Yeah,
Sure.
it was like
Like
an ability that just like
he plants the strings
activated.
and then they, close
Gotcha,
in.
gotcha,
And
gotcha.
He just does his
Sure.
thing aside from that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
Well, damn, that sucks.
I think
Yeah.
a possible like reaction to the after effect of like Kaido being defeated and the clouds not being sustained isn't like Momo the obvious replacement, because can't he turn into like a tiny dragon?
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
those
He-
clouds to walk on,
yeah.
which like kind of are the same effect.
So
Yeah, he can make the
if
same clouds.
Kaido
Yeah, but-
dies and like is no longer the ruler of Wano by virtue of being himself in that position,
Mhm.
would Momo become the ruler of Wano, gain like a large burst of strength, and like be able to kind of like maybe at least like let it list off to the side?
That'd be
Mm.
tight.
Yeah,
Immediately
I think-
crashing.
Mm.
I don't know about like. I guess that could be a good impetus for him to like overcome that PTSD and that fear that he has, and using his ability because of how he associates it with Kaido.
Mm.
Because that's a big thing with him right now. He can't even use his ability because he's so terrified of the form and shit. He hates dragons. He doesn't want to be in that form or learn how to use his ability. So he's been focusing on his swordsmanship. But that could be a good impetus for him to like overcome that fear,
Yeah.
confront it, and
It's
have
your
to
power,
use his-
not his.
have to
Yeah.
use his
Todoroki.
ability to
Something like
save the
that.
population of his country. Because
Yeah.
like
Right.
everybody's here in the
Uh,
capital partying right now.
I am kind of wondering because of like we've seen items eat devil fruits, and we've seen like abilities transfer before upon death, that kind of thing. So I wonder if like there's gonna be like a transfer from Kaido to Momo.
In what
I mean,
way?
you have to eat a fruit. It wouldn't just magically transfer.
Yeah.
But they have like the same like ability. So like, is there
Yeah.
like a variant? Or...
Well,
his
he's
is
got
artificial.
his
They
is
have,
artificial. His is the
his
smile
was
fruit made by
the actual
Kaido?
Vegapunk fruit.
yeah.
The Momo's
Oh,
is
Momo.
artificial.
Okay,
Momo's
okay.
was the
Mhm.
yeah, and Kaido's like fruit seems to be I mean, there's also the possibility that he hasn't eaten it. I think Eagle has brought that up, but I mean, like his fruit is like I feel like completely different than the fruit that Momonosuke ate. The fruit that Momonosuke ate obviously gave him the Chinese dragon form, but like Kaido and his fruit seem to be like completely separate situations from like that. You know what I mean? So yeah.
We're about to find that out like very soon, I
Yeah.
imagine. Like with this Yamato Kaido fight or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, my thought on it has always been like that is the one actual true successful artificial devil fruit that Vegapunk made, that actually made, was made after Kaido's fruit, most likely, because it's so OD. And that Momonosuke, he obviously has the dragon form where he can float on the clouds like Kaido. I mean, he most likely, I think, would have a hybrid form as well.
Yeah, you're right.
I think
Right.
it's a
They are
fully
the same
functioning
thing.
artificial devil fruit that
Yeah.
Vegapunk made. Caesars obviously are all on crazy shit, but like,
Yeah.
I think Vegapunk succeeded, which is weird because he is on record having said, according to Caesar, that it was a failed devil fruit.
Yeah.
Sure.
But either
But
way,
that's what Vegapunk said.
though, like
Yeah.
Kaido dying, the essence of the fruit would go to a fruit, not a person.
Right.
Even though they share, similarities in their power sets, kind
Right.
of, but like at the end of the day, Momonosuke ate an artificial fruit made in the lab. And that's just not the way devil fruit essences transfer anyway. So
Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Unless like Vegapunk did key into something so perfect that it is like Eagle saying like maybe it's not a failed devil fruit experiment, maybe it's a successful one, and somehow made the literal same fruit. And then like Mello's saying like, what if Kaido died and instead of transferring to a new fruit, the two fruits became one.
Oh shit! Sorry, Mello. Damn, that's cool.
No. At first I was like, no, and I was like, wait, that'd be fucking tight though.
Yeah.
It's like it was like a perfect copy, right? Like,
Yeah.
It could have been. It could have been. We don't know that
he's
yet.
He's young, but like his dragon looks the same. They have very similar abilities. I was like, this seems almost like too similar. It has. I felt like it had to.
When Kaido drops, if he dies, like the shit is obviously falling, and then Momo like turns into a big ass fucking Kaido fucking Gyarados, like holds the city up on his back.
If that's the case, we have foreshadowing for that in the cover of chapter 310. When it's a color spread of Luffy in the Kozuki samurai garb with a giant pink dragon behind him. That's like adult giant dragon, like Kaido dragon, not like
and Momo's a peach, which is
Yeah.
Aesthetically pink.
Yeah, it's 310. One Piece.
He's not riding it, but the big ass dragon is in the background.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Pink like Momo's.
Yeah.
That's a great like mental catch.
See now if that is the case and like the essence he would have to die, yeah. But I mean, like if this does, or whatever, and that is how Momonosuke kind of gets bigger and stronger and is in like a full dragon form. Originally, my idea for how this One Piece 310 poster would kind of like come full circle, and I always get laughed out of the room when I say this, but Jewelry Bonnie comes and hits him with the 20-year jump.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? And it's like that's how I thought that the 310 color spread kind of like came true. But I think this is obviously a way better idea. You know what I mean? Like, the artificial essence fuses with the real essence to like now be like the ultimate like dragon fruit form or some shit. I have no idea.
When you first said it, Mello, I was like, nah, and I was like, okay, that might be pretty cool actually.
It's not my bag. Like I'm not like a super hardcore One Piece like aficionado.
Right.
But, like I follow along a little bit.
Yeah.
But then we move into this cipher pole stuff, which I've been waiting to get more of this cipher pole stuff. They're just talking about the battle, the numbers, assessing the situation, and they're like, man, this has been a really big shift in power. These 4,000 dudes of ours that went over to their side.
Yeah.
So like it could go any way now, but I don't think the 4,000 like fodder gifters or whatever the fuck make a huge difference, but it definitely.
But they're not gifters, like the ones that already transferred, right? They're like pleasures and waiters.
Oh.
Right.
Oh yeah. All the pleasures and waiters on the.
So the gifters that Otama would convince are even more. So if it was like say 7,000 more, it would be 7,000 versus 13,000 in favor of our homies.
Or 14,000 versus 13.
Whatever I said wrong. Yeah, sorry. 14
What is
versus
math?
13. Yeah, what is math? Who cares about math? But anyway, as Cypherpole is saying, there isn't that many people that need to switch sides to completely flip this battle on its head.
Yeah.
Which is pretty tight.
Nice. Queen pissed off a lot of using that kind of like frost virus. They're like, hey, you're just straight up sacrificing all of us, and they're like, yes.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't shit to me.
Slow him down.
Like that morale hit coupled with the morale hit of Bao Huang mistakenly saying like, oh like Ulti's out of here, Page One's out of here, like, oh shit, sorry, I didn't mean to say that, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of factors here swinging this in the other direction.
I liked on that page that Nick brought up where Bao Huang accidentally announces that 2 of the Toby Roppo had been defeated, where the other Toby Roppo are like, what the fuck, bro? They're like, damn, what? Especially Black Maria.
Man. That's awesome. I didn't pick up on that.
I like how they're like, what if we just feed them misinformation? Yeah, let's break their spirits. It's like CIA man, and it just like, come on, guys. Like, that's how I feel every time Cypherpole pulls up. Like they're like, we are funding a coup, we're organizing all this stuff in the background. Like that's how I relate to it. But
But that is funny how like first the announcement comes out, Straw Hat Luffy is dead, and like you see like what the morale situation was after that announcement, and then right after you follow up with 2 of the fucking Toby Roppo are down. Like that's just like there's so much chaos like with this information that comes with this information. You know what I mean? It just makes this like that much crazier of a situation.
Right.
We got the new climber baton, the Zeus climber baton, Zeus baton.
Yes.
Oh.
So how I took this, right? Because when you see the chapter, it's like, okay, Hera like eats the soul, and it's like, how did this possibly happen? How did Zeus get into this baton, right?
Right.
How I kind of imagine it is that because the homies are a Big Mom ability, Big Mom, you can imagine Big Mom could take this soul, grab it with her hand, and shove it wherever she wants it to go, right? I'm going to make a tree homie, I'm going to make a sword homie, whatever, right? She can take it and shove it into something. Hera is an extension of Big Mom's being. You know what I mean? Like, she is one of the main homies now. And so I feel like Hera biting down into Zeus, if she bit Zeus on both sides, she would have eaten it. Yeah. But she like on the top, for example, was like teeth, and the bottom was the baton. She like pushed him into the baton with her teeth, maybe, right? I don't think this is like shown in the chapter where it happens or whatever, because like
in the chapter it was long range. She just shot the weather eggs, and the weather eggs went in the mouth with Zeus.
Sure. Okay, so maybe Hera like pushed Zeus into one of the weather eggs or something, right? And then it became like part of the baton. But it's like I could imagine like Hera like unintentionally doing this, right?
Yeah,
because
she's like down on it, and it's like when you have like a really messy sandwich. And then like you bite down on it and it all shoots out the back. You know what I mean? It was like kind of like a situation like that. You know what I mean? Where it like accidentally squeezed the toothpaste out of the too much toothpaste out of the tube.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then like that like backwash went back towards the black balls and then infused into those, which are linked to the Klimatact. And then
I guess I took it as like we got the dialogue that two souls can't inhabit the same being. Right. And so as she tries to eat him, it makes sense that his soul, a separate entity, even though, you know, Big Mom tosses it to her, says, eat it.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen her dispel the soul. You know, that's how she could do it. But like, it makes sense to me that he would be pushed out as she tries to eat him because he is a separate entity.
Oh, and maybe Big Mom, since she hasn't tried to do this before, you know what I mean? Like maybe this is the first time she's trying to do it, and like, maybe not forgot that two souls can't coexist in the same body at once, but just thought like, let's just try it and see what happens. And then got, you know, a new, you know, a bigger like Hera, you know what I mean? Like eventually anyway, and just decided, oh, okay, it must have worked. Tight. I can do that now. Or something
might be like
that,
a video game interaction where she's like, I didn't expect this interaction to actually occur. Like, totally didn't expect that. I just assumed that, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, he failed me, so I'm punishing him.
Yeah, she's like, nothing weird happened. I still got Hera. Okay, it must have worked. Cool, we're out of here.
I got super hype when he turned into the Morning Star and as Nami smacked the shit out of Ulti in the side of her shit.
Nami needed an upgrade. She was due.
And then we get the obviously the Seeking Lightning, bro. Zeus.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, homing attacks. This is gonna be so huge for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's so strong now.
Yeah.
I like how bad she is at naming things.
Oh yeah, she said fluff. I was like, no way. When she said that, I was like, no, Oda, don't do this, bro. We're not going from Zeus to fluff. And then she said fluff, and he was like, all right, you want to know what? I'm Zeus. You know, like,
I am the mighty Zeus.
He's like, I need a new name, and she's like, what if it's a dog shit name? And he's like, I guess I'll stick with what I got.
Yeah.
I prefer it.
It was just so funny, the interaction, because she said fluff. There was just no reaction from Zeus. And then he goes, no, I'm Zeus. And she's like, all right, fine, Zeus, let's go.
He said, I'm the mighty Zeus, right arm of Nami. Prepare for pain.
Fire.
So tight.
Fire.
So
hell
tight.
Yeah.
He's a funny kid.
Just that line alone, like, you know, that's gonna be something that strikes fear into the hearts of people. Like, oh, Nami the cat burglar, she's got Zeus on her right arm. Like, she's a fucking terrifying.
She took it from Big Mom. You know what I mean?
Hat pirate.
Oh, like the cat burglar who stole Zeus from Big Mom. You know what I mean? Like, that's tight.
Oh shit!
That's like
hold on.
Her bounty's going up. Wouldn't it be kind of interesting? Because like with the shape-shifting ability, would the baton be able to change it to like say a key? Like shape-shift into a key.
Yeah, I guess
like Ranger Reject, where they fill the smoke with the finger or something.
Sure. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah,
I could see that. Like they have like a stupid big lock, and they're like, "All right, we got this fixed." Bam!
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go in there. Stop it.
Yo, that's gonna if they really do start leaning more into the thief burglar plot, like, or area of Nami's character, seeing her do like crazy like ninja shit with Zeus just shape shifting into keys and shit, like
I'm trying to think
bro,
of like
that's tight to
something
think about.
tight that she could steal from each Yonko.
Oh,
You know, something tight and in line with her character, because that could be a plot point later on where she like, you know, the cat burglar who stole something from each Yonko type shit. You know, it's like she's a master thief who could
Yeah.
even
Zeus
steal from
pretending
the
to be the
Yonko.
Bagua from Kaido.
Oh,
Just pretending. Like, oh, I've got the Bagua. And he's like, yeah, I'm the Bagua.
Oh,
Zeus.
damn. I love
Oh,
this.
and then wait. That's actually pretty crazy to think about because Yamato uses the same weapon. You know
It's
what
just
I mean?
not spiky or whatever, just like rounded
Yeah,
nubs instead of spiky
and he
nubs or whatever.
says like I'm about to go with Luffy after I leave here, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
if the final conflict is like, man, let me get my Bagua and finish off these motherfuckers, and then it's accidentally Zeus, and then Yamato has the real Bagua like moving forward, and then Nami stole the Bagua from Kaido, stole Zeus
that'd be
from
funny.
Big Mom. You know what I mean? Like that'd be so raw, bro.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. And that crucial mistake.
Yo,
That
it's
last minute.
It's like when
That'd be
Thanos went
cool.
down in Endgame. You know what I mean? He's like, I am inevitable, and then goes to snap, but doesn't have like
Yeah.
you know,
like a clash between Yamato and Kaido, and then the thing just his weapon turns into a cloud as her weapon just passes through it and just crushes him in the face.
That would be some shit.
That'd be awesome. One small interaction that I really, really liked was the weapons that Usopp was using. Like when he did they did like the time skip, like he went on that like bug island with all the plants. He went with all the weird plants, and I love that he was using like plant weapons again.
Yeah.
I really like that they're leaning back into that because I felt like it wasn't really touched upon like during the God Usopp stuff and like other arcs where Usopp was really showing off. I was like, I like that they're leaning back into this little pool that they can like pull some cool stuff. Like you pull out a Venus flytrap, you have like a vines and random things like I don't know.
The trampoline shit is like one of my favorites.
Lily pad trampolines. It's great. I
can't remember the name of it, but when Zoro's like, yo, give me a boost, and he like throws the fucking like bubble pad out and he like jumps up and slices the fucking dragon's head off. Dude, that shit was so tight.
That. So good. So I like that they're like doing that again.
Yeah.
Damn, like Usopp taking the hit from ulti and then getting up like almost immediately and like doing that attack though.
Yeah.
God damn, he is just so badass. I love Usopp so much.
Yeah.
He used to be like super weak because I remember when I used to get the Shonen Jump like monthly delivered to my door as a kid, like when I was like 10.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right? Like I remember reading the first chapter of One Piece out of this Shonen Jump at the grocery store, and I got like the whole. I got the beginning of the arc. So like for me, it's like a weird, fuzzy, stretched out vision of this spanning story. And I just remember Usopp being like super weak, and I think that he's just had the crap beaten out of him so many times. He's just now like a tough, hardy mofo.
Yeah.
Right.
Who could take more of a beating, Usopp or Invincible?
Usopp.
He's played some of the most. I always argue this. Usopp has played some of the most vital roles in virtually every arc. Like even going back to Arlong Park, if he did not take out what was the fisherman, he like if they had another fisherman come back, Chew. If they had another fisherman come back to the fight and start fucking shit up, Usopp needed to take it. Usopp needed to pull that clutch moment up, because if he would have went back, he would have fucked he'd have fucked up the situation. But
I think that Usopp is just like a low key favorite character, just because he's solid. Like I love that he's like has so many talents. He's an archer. He's a carpenter. He fixes things. He deceives people. Like he can make a marine cry. Like
multifaceted.
Yeah. And it's just like very subtle, but he's very powerful and very versatile. But he doesn't. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, Zoro Sanji.
I think he plays
very direct, very flashy
roles.
powers.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, with Perona, obviously,
yep.
Sugar, like there's a
Yes,
couple different
yes.
times where if he didn't do what he did, the story's over, basically.
Yeah,
God.
he's a great pinch hitter, fantastic pinch
For
hitter.
real, clutch shooter.
Yes.
Clutch fucking shooter.
Definitely
bro.
clutch.
For real.
Hell yeah.
King of the clutch.
King
Always
of the
love
clutch.
Usopp.
Yeah.
We're about to have Otama give some orders. So ready for this, dude?
Yeah. I mean, what do you
Oh,
guys think
yeah.
she's just gonna say? Like activate type shit? And
Something-
then
yeah,
It's
yeah,
gonna
I'll
be
follow
it's
that.
gonna be
Numbers.
some cold-blooded shit, bro, and then they're all gonna just run past like you know, it's gonna be so glorious.
She's about to say help Big Brother Luffy or something like that.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that, yeah.
Help the samurai
Help
team.
Big
or
Bro
whatever.
Luffy's help Samurai.
Help the
Mhm.
squad.
It might even be something as
Yo.
simple as like help Wano. It is your
Yeah.
time to help Wano.
Yeah, for
Sure.
real.
And
That'd be
just
tight.
like, or like, yeah, that'd be.
They don't really have as
nuts.
much emotional like stake in like the history of Wano, though. I want to say like these are all like
Mhm.
guys that have just been chilling here, like living on the land under Kaido's like reign. So
Right.
saying like help Wano, I don't know if that
Well,
Maybe like
I
two,
think so, because of
abstract.
the
Yeah.
dumplings that she gave, right? Like she
Yeah.
still like has a little bit of influence.
Oh, sure. No,
I
she
feel.
definitely
I mean, that's
has
why
the
she's gonna give him
influence.
orders.
Yeah, that's she's got the influence, but I'm just saying like from like a command standpoint, like help
true.
Wano probably wouldn't like hit
Too
for
vague.
the people.
Yeah, it's,
that
like,
are
vague
being
and abstract,
commanded. Yeah. But I don't know.
Even
You never know.
Kaido could argue he's helping Wano. He's just gonna change Wano and
Oh,
have
sure.
Wano also help him, but he's helping, quote unquote, helping Wano. I don't know. You could argue it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're bad.
Yeah.
Yamato, I'm about to go with these motherfuckers. Hold on, man. So
For
like,
real.
who did everybody?
I'm so ready.
Who did everybody like want to be on the crew? Like, I don't remember everybody. Like, I don't remember who said Carrot. If anybody said Carrot or anything like that.
Oh,
But
nah.
yeah. But
I
yeah.
mean, I wouldn't mind Carrot, but I'm really neither here nor there about it. But I mean, I think this could be a funny moment. I don't know that we've got an implicit moment from Luffy where he's asked Yamato to join the crew. So
Right.
this could be a funny moment where, you know, Yamato says to Luffy, like, let me sail with you. And he's like, yeah,
Wow.
no,
Or it
I
could
don't
be
want
like,
you on my crew. I
or
never
it-
asked you to be on my crew. Fuck off type shit.
or it could be like Luffy going to ask him, and then
Mhm.
as he's saying, "Will you come with me?" he says, "I'm going with you," and then he's like, "Wait a minute, what? Like this is weird. This isn't the way this usually goes." And then they fight about it or
Finally,
something.
someone headstrong to like combat
Right.
Luffy a little bit.
Yeah.
And, like the rest of
Right.
the crew's like, you now know our suffering. Luffy. One of us, Captain. You're truly one of us now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could totally see it the way Eagle said too, like where he's
Yeah.
just like, "Hey, let's go. We're out of here, right? We're going together." And he's like, "No."
Or even like a Odin and Whitebeard dynamic, maybe where he's like, let me join your shit, man. And he's like, nah. And
Yeah.
he's like, bro, let
Yeah.
me join your shit.
I think it's
Like,
gonna be like
nah.
that. I
He tries to
really
get out of there.
think
He
I think it's gonna be an
chains
Odin
around the
parallel.
mast like,
Oh yeah, yo! What if it is like a parallel like that where Yamato
Totally,
yeah.
like where Luffy says no and Yamato follows him on the chains anyway in the water? Oh
Mhm.
my god, that'd be
It's
so
definitely
funny.
gonna happen like that. I
That'd be
think.
so funny.
I think so too.
There was a little interaction that I really liked with the horned lady with Otama. She's like, "Hey, I understand how you're how are you controlling my friend? How are you controlling my minions? like,
Oh,
my-
sure.
my
Oh
team?"
yeah,
And then she's like,
Ulti,
"How are
yeah.
you controlling Big Mom?" And the funny part is, she's not.
yeah,
Right,
It's
yeah.
just I'm adorable. and
Yes.
Big Mom liked me,
Yeah.
and I love how they like she can't fathom
Hmm.
that Big Mom would actually hold affection. Like it's a very, very
yeah.
like
She's like, and
telling
now she can manipulate Big
interaction.
Mom too.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
What
the
you
fuck?
can't think of any other reason. I don't know. It's just a nice little character moment. that I
Yeah,
like.
Yeah,
For real.
definitely, definitely,
Mhm.
definitely.
Hell yeah,
Mm.
man.
What a chapter, though.
Fire.
For real.
I still want to know what happens to Luffy. Like
So
he's
Yeah,
still
me too.
falling, right? Like what's going on?
No, he got
No,
picked up
he
by
got
the Heart
saved
Pirates.
but yeah, he got saved by Law and them. So is there a break next
Not
week?
even Law. Law's still up here. Just the Heart Pirates are down there.
Oh yeah, just the Heart Pirates. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
there is a break next week.
There is a break next week. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it says next chapter June.
Oh, June
27th.
20. There it is.
Tune in next.
So does it
time.
look at anybody else like maybe Yamato is rocking the Emperor's hockey up here on the top? Because it looks like a
Oh,
two-sided
Yes.
clash, maybe like
Yeah, for sure,
bigger
that's what I
lightning
thought.
on the left
I
side
totally agree
and
with
then
that.
smaller
Yeah.
lightning on the right side, kind of.
Yeah.
yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when I saw the clash.
I like that. Even more Odin parallels. I'm here
Yes.
for
Hell
it.
yeah. Hell
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah. It's lit.
I think that about does it for One Piece, man.
Oh yeah,
Hell
I'm good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Great job,
All
you guys.
right, well, and that'll do it for this week's episode of the Project Manga Podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did, be sure to drop a like on the video if you enjoyed this episode. Subscribe to the channel for more week-to-week content. Drop a comment down in the comment section down below. Let us know what you thought of this week's review. If we forgot anything you'd like us to bring up, bring it up down there. We can talk about it. Also, as I said at the beginning, check the description box down below where you can find links to all of our individual social media accounts like Twitter, online communities such as Discord, places to listen to the podcast wherever you like to normally listen to your stuff at, as well as ways you can support the podcast by checking out our online shop or our Patreon. With all that said, this will be another stupendous episode of the Project Manga Podcast. Wrapping up, I'm your host, Eagle.
I'm Knox.
Nickums.
Mellow Yanis.
Da-da-ba-da.